Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to a Friday live stream. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday, everybody. It's good to be back. I missed you guys. I actually sprained my ankle running recently, so I won't be doing very much running lately. It needs to heal, and I have been working all day, as you can see, and I figured what better way to cap a Friday night than a blind sniff live stream with some stuff I've never smelled before. Look at the time that one of my perfume god people put into this. Look at this, cards. This live stream is properly labeled the good, the bad, and the ugly because there is some good. There's also some bad, and there's also some ugly in here, according to my perfume god person, who would like to remain anonymous, I must add. So let me know what you guys are wearing. I decided to go old school with this one because the camera on my webcam or whatever just isn't as good as on my phone, so I'll just use my phone. Whatever, it's a little bit smaller. You've got to look at me sort of upside down, but whatever. At least when I show stuff, you can see it, sort of. So I wore this today. This was my scent of the day. I want to spray it again, actually, but I don't want to ruin my nose. It is Ensar Oud's EO #1, and I have grown to like this more and more. And the more I wear it, the more I'm glad that I have a backup. It is just absolutely glorious. And it just has, it's one of those fragrances that has everything. You know what I mean? Like it has the sandalwood that's beautiful. It has the oud. It has the real ambergris. It has all kind of just real oak moss and cypress. And it's just and that castoreum adds this leathery vibe, which I love. So even though I think I like Russian Adam style a lot more. Like I wore this to work today, and it was brilliant. It worked absolutely brilliant. And the little touch from the handmade leather from the guy that makes the Pope's leather binding is really something special. And you can see this is full grain leather. You can see sort of the imperfections in the leather. So yes, this was my scent of the day. And man, like I said, glad to have a backup of this so I can really wear it. I feel like I can really wear it. It's the third time I've worn it in a couple months, and every time I wear it, I like it more. So I am Ensar's a house I'm starting to get into, and that's scary because that could I might end up on the street. I might have to sell my house. Diaghilev, the good, Cedrat Boise, the bad, Versace Eros, the ugly. Yes, that's right. I knew we'll have a live stream today, Dushan. That's right. Passing on the good vibes. Hey, Hari, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, Nick, thanks for those samples and all the beautiful fragrances you sent my way. I really enjoyed Chypre Mousse. Thought that was full bottle worthy. And even I've got a sample of that vetiver. I included it in my vetiver fragrances with the word vetiver written on the tin. It was Vetiver Royal Bourbon by Ariza Elegran. That's a great house, and I can't wait. I think tomorrow I'm gonna wear that Russian Adam Oud Luwak and do a early impression video. That'll be fantastic. I sprayed it to bed yesterday, and my God, just one spray, and it's like you're in heaven. I did miss one vetiver fragrance from my collection that actually says vetiver on the tin that I missed, and it's courtesy of Rich Mitch. Rich Mitch sent me a bottle of Root de Vetiver, which is a very tarry, rooty vetiver, literally Root de Vetiver. So yes, this is it almost opens up like pepperminty in the top, wintergreen peppermint, but Maitrier, a Parfume, a Gantier, MPG, and Root de Vetiver should have been on my fragrances with the name Vetiver on the tin, and I missed it. I absolutely missed it. So black mark for me on that one. Hey, Glitch, what's happening, man? Ajay, what's going on? Yes, happy Friday indeed. Encre Noir and Mitiatar. What's that like? Drink of the night is tea, as usual. Rich Mitch is slowly making me more and more British. Uno momento. Okay, let's get situated here. Let's get situated here. Greetings, Alan. What's going on? Dervish 2. I've never smelled Dervish 2, but I do have Dervish 1. Does it have anything to do with Dervish 1? Or is it a completely different fragrance? Dervish is probably my least favorite rogue, although it does have, the problem with Dervish is it has this very interesting saffron tobacco thing going on, ambery Middle Eastern style that I actually like, but it has this ungodly amount of sweetness in the opening. So this is something that my perfume god person sent me, and I don't know what this is. What are you? Ah, it's written on the tin. Elsha 1776 cologne. That's awesome. I love this stuff. Really enjoyed it. That's great because I think I did a video on Elsha 1776. If I didn't, I absolutely will because someone else sent me a little sample, nowhere near as generous as this. So thank you to my perfume god person there. But yeah, someone sent me a sample of that, and I really liked it. It was a very interesting take on a Russian leather. Like if you like some of the Russian leathers that I talk about on the channel, like if you like Russian leathers like this Kolnish Yukden by the House of Farina. This is a fantastic Russian leather. Probably one of the probably one of like the reference Russian leathers. And then stuff like this Imperial del Oro Russian leather with the gold is what they call this. Just looks dirty to me, but with the gold, hand painted gold around the outside is what they say. The most treasured name in men's toiletries. Imperial del Oro for men, 22 karat gold, hand decorated. Roja would be charging $1,000 for this. This is a really good Russian leather as well. This Del Oro brand is very underrated. If you like stuff like that, check out that Elsha 1776. If I have not done a video on it before, I will. So let's open the package. Let's see what the hell's in here. I must know. This episode brought to you by the duck, apparently. It does feel like the duck should have advertisements, though, does it not? Man, this is the smell radiating from this is really something. All of it mixing together. All right, let's see what we get. Well, obviously, I'm not going to know what we get because these are blind sniff episodes. But let me take these out while I'm looking through the comments so I can get this party started. I guess I should have done this beforehand. Sir Alan, that's right. That's right, Sir Alan Hansen, knighted. So these are numbered. So I guess I can't be like, ooh, number 9. Hey, that means nothing to you guys yet, or me. Although look at the time and effort my perfume god person put into this. Look at this. Special shout outs to you know who. All right, let's get these open. Numero 14. I guess I should get them in order here. Numero 4. So what's everyone wearing today? How's everyone's week been? I missed these live streams. Hari's the man with the master plan. The mighty Antaeus. The mighty vintage Antaeus, eh? Numero 6. A little leakage. I thought I smelled something strong. You stay in there. You stay in there. You dark juice, you. Numero 7. Good day, scent of the day. And moved into my absolute favorite, Ted Lapidus for home. Yes, sir. Black Monday. Yes, it is one of the best 80s fragrances, honestly. It really is. And one of the great things about Lapidus is that you can just buy, like, you don't have to go hunt down the vintage like I have here. You can just buy the modern, and it's fantastic. But these old vintage splashes, I mean, they're all amazing. But what a fragrance! I'm glad you love it. I'm glad you love it. This is my kind of scent. This is the kind of stuff I like to rock when I want to show my personality. You know, no one wears that shit anymore. Like, probably you and one other person in the entire state you're in is wearing that. So yes, numero 18. We've got 18 of these. So this is obviously not going on skin today. We are going to have to do scent strips, which honestly I need to start using more anyways, because after these videos, I just walk around smelling like an absolute Frankenstein until I go to bed, and wash it all off in the morning with my shower. But until then, it's a clash of smells when I put all of these on skin. I'm gonna have to limit the amount of skin usage that clashes with my scent of the day. There's only so much one man can put up with. All right, number 5. We're slowly but surely we're unboxing these one at a time, slowly but surely. So apologies, I should have done this beforehand. Number 16, and there's a lot of them too. This is going to be a long video, so you guys settle in. Settle in, boys and girls, for a Friday Ram live stream. No Patreon subscription necessary. No members only content. No begging for super chats, which does get annoying no matter what people say. Begging for super chats gets fucking annoying. Numero uno. A decant of vintage Antaeus is on the way, courtesy of Armando. Holy shiza. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. You're going to love it, Hari. You're going to be buying a bottle post haste, my friend. Post haste. Numero dos. Number 20. We have 20 of these. Good God almighty. Number 12. Oh, 12 leaked a little bit. All right, number 12. Stay in your lane there, buddy. Number 17. And number 10. Okay. So we have our contestants today in the blind sniff standing at attention over here, ready to rock and or roll. Number 19. Okay, I left number 19 out. You go right there. And of course I knocked them all over. You bastard. You bastard. That's a Rich Mitch move right there. A Fragalanche. Luckily it's of samples and not real bottles falling all over the place. Let's line them up again, shall we? Get back in your lines. Five, 6, 7. Okay. All right. I bet you I'm going to knock that down like 5 times today. All right. Let me pick up some of this trash and then we'll get to spraying, shall we? That's where you say we shall. Okay. Number 15. We got 20. We got 20 of these bad boys. Woo! This will be quite the exploration night for Ram. No guarantees. They're all new to me, but I'm pretty sure most of them are new. I've never smelled them before. Good day, sense of the day, Fahrenheit Absolute. Wow, tripler in June. Seriously. No messing around there, are you? Ari, tripler. Ari, let us know after you try it. Yes, please do. Keep away from fire. Scent of the Night is Sublime. That's a fantastic, underrated fragrance, especially in vintage form. I shall be putting a chicken to fire shortly, Dushan. I will try to stay uncharred. Yes, fried triceratops is a delicacy. Be careful. Sprained ankle, rice. Anyone else think Encre Noir lasts much longer than? Yes, I think it really does. I don't think the extreme is really as extreme as they say. It's extreme in the fact that they've added all those sort of ambery components to it. I honestly like all three. And I think the Sport is probably the most underrated because the Sport is so good. Like, it really smells like proper vetiver, and it's great. Like, for Texas, I could wear the Sport 9 months out of the year. Can you put the phone sideways? It doesn't work, mate. Sorry, man. For whatever reason, on my StreamYard, it won't do the switcheroo. So you'll have to look at me in mini form. Chanel less exclusives. Eau de Cologne, never smelled it. Datura Digitalis by 6 cents. Is that the one I hated? Datura Digitalis. I don't think I like that one, if memory serves. Oh no, I think that one was okay. I thought that one was I thought that one was good, if memory serves. When you smell a whole brand's lineup at once, sometimes that happens. EO1 is a legend. It is. Thank you, Hari. Thank you for finding me a bottle, brother. I did send him that. Maitre bottles are awesome. Yes, you did. You did, Rich. You sent me this, and I have not talked about it on the channel, but I missed a perfect opportunity to when I did my fragrances that literally have the name vetiver on the damn tin. But I see what you mean, Rich. This is a rich, dark, tarry leather. It smells like peppermint in the opening, and then it dries down to this tarry vetiver. Yes, I am slowly turning more and more British, except for I drink my tea out of a Yeti to keep it hot, which I assume no self-respecting Briton will ever do. Good evening, Kevin. Sup, Duck? Yorkshire Ram and Texas Duck. Christian Dior's vetiver. You know, I have not smelled that. Since I did that vetiver video the other day with vetiver written on the tin, I was telling Rich that it would be great to have a bottle of that. But I hear it's just like sort of a plain vetiver with a coffee note. Is that true, J-Rod? Thanks for being here, Fragrance Journey. Good to see you, brother. Miss sending packages to Ram. Have to respect his decision to enjoy his collection. Well, send me something. You know, send me some pictures. Send me some pictures. Give me a taste. I might say no, but give me a taste. 1,000 fragrance list, right? How about I do an entire collection video when we hit 25,000 subscribers? I'll do an entire collection video nonstop on stream. One bottle after the other. All 1,000. No, I don't have 1,000 yet. Although I'm not as far away as you would think. With my luck, I'd set off some sort of domino chain reaction where one bottle hits the next exactly right and they just spill everywhere. Happy Friday. Scent of the day, Aqua Atlantique. Never smelled that one, Frank. Always wears Fahrenheit Absolute in the summer. Really? Nasomato Sadonasa? Is that the, I guess that's the eggplant one. What's it like, GMG? Yeah, well, it's actually been more than 24 hours, but I kind of I'm a man of extremes, as you can see. And so I'm somebody that if I like get to doing something, like if I get to running, I have to run every day. Like it's if it's in the routine, I'm doing it. That's how these videos work for me. Like it's in the routine and I'm doing a video, right? And it's sort of the same with running. And so I've missed the last couple of days because of this ankle sprain. And I already feel like, like I feel like I'm lazy and like I need to get out there and run again. Um, so yes, it having a sprained ankle sucks. Indisky Sandal finally arrived in the U.S. Ah, that's the one from the Ukraine, right? That's the irradiated Sandal. I'm so ashamed. Hey, welcome to the channel. Oh yeah, Boz, I had some negative feedback from some folks saying that you sort of take over the conversation. So I'm gonna ask that you do not come back and comment on my stream anymore. Sorry about that. Hope I don't offend you. I probably should have blocked you after you ran to Mr. Smelly and cried that I was mean that one day. So yes, sorry about that. I am usually a very nice ram, but sometimes you just have to draw a fine line, hard line. All right, let's see. Your vetiverse basically like Guerlain, in my opinion, sits between Guerlain and Creed OG. Interesting. Is it worth the Dior Privé price, J-Rod? Me too. Alan? Pathetic? Hey, what's going on, Manuel? Thanks for being here. Yes, from the Ukraine. Please let me know what you make of it, Ajay, please. Tea out of a tinny? Yes, that's right. Is this some sort of a sin in Great Britain? I'll tell you what though, it keeps the damn thing hot forever, literally forever. Which I love. I mean, hours later I could come back and it's hot. So, we have 20 fragrances to spray, so I guess I should stop screwing about. So, let us get some smelling strips, shall we? Okay, let's get some smelling strips. I've got the good ones that come from France, and I've got the cheapy ones that come from Macy's. So let's use up the cheapy ones first. So I guess all I can really do on here is put numero uno because I don't know what it is. So I'm going to spray it while we catch up on the comments. Numero uno looks pink. Where can we buy in? Yeah, it's hard to find, Hari. A ram's horns are not for decoration. Yeah, it had to be done. Rip the Band-Aid off. Hey, Michael John, what's going on, brother? All right, let's spray this, shall we? Oof. Sprayers on these are good. This is the stuff that these brands should use, not those cheap little, I don't know what they're called. Oh. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, it's like a ambery, sweet oud thing. It smells like a Parfum de Marly or something. And of course now he's messaging me on Instagram. Sorry, Boz. I'm sorry, dude. It had to happen, mate. When other people tell me that they don't want to join because you're on, it wasn't just, the other day when you guys were talking in your own language. It was just everything. It's just when you come in here, you just try to take over the conversation. You said once you were upset that I talk about perfumes on a perfume channel. It's just, I don't think this channel's for you, brother. If it is, watch in the background. I don't need to read 10,000 of your comments. So So yes, this is ambery, humany, but very, very designer sweet. I hope this isn't like a $300 or $400 niche fragrance. It smells like a Frank Bachlet or something, you know, like a $100 fragrance that should be a $40 fragrance, but gets hyped in the community and people end up paying hundreds for it. I wonder what this is. Well said, Tripler. Yes. Mess with the ram, get the horns. Queer de Russie, what a great fragrance that is. If you love the EDP, I know they're hard to find, but man, I'll tell you, if you can ever get your nose on the vintage EDC, which they're impossible to find, but the EDTs will still pop up from time to time. The EDTs are absolutely amazing. So, yes. Let's see what the hell number one is. I don't think it's going to be super expensive, but what are we dealing with here? Oh, shit, I've never even heard of this. Sama al Emarat by Louis Cardin, 2013 release. Never heard of this. Have you guys heard of this before? Let's look it up. This will be one of these learning streams we'll learn together. And I do love learning about new fragrances. Sama al Arant. Ard al Zaafaran. Ah, so it is a cheapie. Well, I did say it smells like a Parfum de Marly. Floral notes, fruity notes, amber, sandalwood, and gaiac wood. It has an oud, like a generic woody, oody thing going about. Don't like this. I don't hate it. It's just, it's not for me at this point in my journey, but that's it. It's Sama al Emarat, numero uno. Don't know who the nose is either. There's none listed on Parfumo. That Ard al Zaafaran brand, I think they make a fragrance called Oud 24 Hours, which apparently is supposed to smell like black orchid. I've got a sample of black orchid, so I'll do a video on that one of these days. But yes, we did say it was going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. So right out of the gate, we've got the ugly. It's just, it has that, you know how many of those lower end Middle Eastern style fragrances have that generic woody note that you just smell in everything? That's sort of what it feels like. Even though there's no oud listed, the sandalwood, gaiac wood just all sort of blends into that. It's like it blended into one generic woody note. Rich Mitch would hate this. This is the epitome of hatred from the duck. So numero uno is that. Michael, Hari, I kept looking and looking. Finally, after a couple of months, found it listed on eBay in Ukraine. Oh man, I hope it gets to you safe, Ajay, and I hope that what is actually in the bottle is that fragrance. I mean, I've taken a flyer on some crazy shit before, but I don't know about buying from Ukraine right now, dude. Yeah, do report back. Maybe you should come on. We'll do a live stream when you first spray it. Do not spray that on skin the first time. Do not do that. Tobacco mandarin. I want to smell that one day. I hear good things about it. All right, let me spray number 2 while we're kicking the shit here. Numero dos. Man, this room is going to smell absolutely insane after I spray all 20 of these. Oof. That also has like a almost like a white floral antiseptic vibe in the opening. Man, well, if anything, I'll smell a bunch of stuff I've never smelled before. This smells maybe a little higher quality than the first one, but I'd probably put it somewhere in that middle range. It is, I like the spices. There's some pretty good spices coming out here. I'm going to let that dry for a bit while we catch up. Send you a decant? Oh, God. Oh, God. Thank you, Ajay. That's very kind of you. Ukraine eBay. What's up, Hub? That lady was selling some awesome vintage USSR fragrances. I might, oh man, that's too bad because, Russian Adam sent me a handful of fragrances from Russia, old vintage Russian fragrances. One is called Celebration, one's called Red Moscow, and the other was called, what's the other one called? There was a third one. The other was called, I must know now. Now we've opened Pandora's box. I must know. It was called, there's Red Moscow. It was called Stone Flower. That's the other one. It's called Stone Flower. And all of them that I smelled are really good. Probably full bottle worthy. I need to do videos on these. Like nobody has, I don't think anyone's done a video on Stone Flower or Red Moscow. Red Moscow smells like an amazing carnation heavy chypre that smelled much higher quality than what they were asking for it dollar wise. And those Russian perfumers, like they love adding those animalics. They love adding those animalics from back in the day, and I love the animalic style. And that's Russian Adam said they use their Russian strong hand and add a bunch of animalics. And so I'm a big fan of those old Russian fragrances. So yeah, that's definitely good value for money if they're legit, Ajay. Oscar De La Renta Pour Louis, a pure winner. Class all the way. Easily signature set worthy. Arbaz, bravo. Welcome, Distant Towers. Zoologist Cow. I talked a little bit about that on one of my zoologist live stream videos. That has an insane note of apple. There's some milk. There's like this milk note in cow. Obviously, there's a milk note, but it was very. Rich Mitch said that it would make a good candle, and I agree with him. I wouldn't want to wear it as a fragrance, but it wasn't as shite as some people make it out to be. It's got that weird milky apple thing going on. Very floral and green, creamy. I enjoyed it. Nathalie Feisthauer was the perfumer. Those zoologists, man, outside of, if I was going to buy two more zoologist fragrances, one would be Sacred Scarab and the other would be T-Rex, and that would probably be it. I don't think I really want any others from the brand. I did a video on the new Tiger, and it was okay. It's a vetiver heavy scent, but it reminded me a lot, actually, especially once the first hour went by into the dry down of Kenzo's Jungle Pour Homme, which, it's a good scent, but I have a bottle, and there's just, I don't know, I just didn't think there was very much need for that fragrance. I wish zoologists would get back to making stuff that is more interesting, but that's just my take. All right, let's check out number 2. I'm guessing number 2 is going to be a mid-level brand. All right, number 2 is L'Agile de la Victoire by Rance 1795. That's another one that I don't know. I've heard of this Rance 1795. L'Agile de la Victoire. Let's look it up. Let's see what it is. It is, before I look up the notes, I will tell you that, and maybe it's just because it's on paper, but now that it's drying down, it's starting to put out a slight bit of this leathery like vibe. Interesting. All right, let's see what the notes are. La Agile de la Victoire. This came out in 2013. Bay leaf, Calabrian bergamot, birch, thyme, labdanum, patchouli, frankincense, leather, oud, and vetiver. You know what? I wonder what this would be like on skin, because now that I'm seeing the fragrance, I do remember people talking about this scent now. I remember this brand. I had it marked as a wish list candidate to potentially look into, and I've heard people compare this to leather oud. And now that leatheriness is starting to come out, I see the comparison. I think it would be better on skin. It's one of the downfalls of testing these on paper. Very interesting, though. I like it now that it's dried down more. But I think it is a mid. I think Rancé is somewhere in the middle. I don't think they're super expensive. Rancé, $17.95. Interesting. Good to smell that one. I love my bottle of leather oud. The only thing I would love even more is if I could find a vintage. They're just damn impossible to find. Let me actually keep these up so I can go back to them, so I can remind myself what we've sniffed. So the first one was Sama al Emarat. All right, it's up. It's up, it's up. All right, let's spray number 3. Such a classic indeed. I've never smelled a Mirror 1, but I really do like a Mirror 2, even though I blind bought it from Ajay. I'm sorry, from Hari. A Mirror 2 was really good. Oh, just something that's been coming for a long time, mate. I'm in a rip the Band-Aid off mood today. Don't ask me why. I'm in a rip the Band-Aid off mood. Something that had to be done. Is it worth getting the new batches of Creed? No. I never buy new Creed. Creed lost me. I have a pledge. I have a promise to myself never to buy any new Creed fragrances after 2017. 2017 is like the cutoff for me now, because I bought a new 2018 batch of Aventus. And remember, I'm somebody, I went through, or I have had in my collection at different stages, like 6 different bottles of Aventus at some point. I finished a 2012 batch. I finished a 2014 batch. And I currently have a 15, a 16, and a 17 bottle. So I have some damn experience with Aventus. Man, this guy just will not let it go. I gotta block him on Instagram. You think you're so great, don't you? All right, hang on. Let me block this guy. All right, I have returned. The RAM is back. So yeah, I had a 2018 batch of Aventus. Here, I'll show you the damn decanter. I've got it right here, and there it is. Just in case people think I'm bullshitting, that is a 2018 batch of Aventus. And it was literally one of the most pathetic fragrances I've ever smelled. it didn't smell anything like the other Aventus batches. It actually smelled sort of like it almost smelled like a bad iteration of Aventus cologne, which actually I think came out like a year after this. So part of me wondered like if they were, you know, playing with the formula. I don't know what was going on, but this was so bad that I basically have a pledge to myself never to buy a new Creed after 2018 unless they come on here and apologize and explain themselves. Because my theory, I don't know if it's true or not, but my theory is that Olivier Creed was sort of trying his best to make as much money as he can at that point because he was basically trying to sell the house. He sold it to BlackRock, I think, that year or the year after 2019 for like almost $1 billion. And so obviously, I think the more profit that he showed, the more money he was going to get. And, you know, this was about the time that I became very, very skeptical. And I won't buy any new Creed. So my answer to should I buy new batches of Green Irish Tweed is no. I'm sure maybe they're fine. I'm out. I mean, I'm out on Creed. I would always go for the older ones. I've got a 2014 bottle of Green Irish Tweed, and that's it. Like once that's done, I'm out. I'm done. Good morning from South Korea. Welcome, Distant Towers. Good to have you, my friend. Amir 2 is a diluted version of one of their Atars that I already have. Ah, interesting. I don't have any of their Atars, Hari, but I will tell you that Ajmal is a brand that I really rate. They have a couple. They have a couple which, like something like this. This what is this called? Mukhalit Al Shams, I think this is called. This is such a great oud fragrance, and I got this for $35. It is fantastic. And Ajmal uses real oud, like they have their own oud. They have their own oud fields and trees and stuff like that. And you can smell it. I mean, they really punch above their weight class. And I'm actually testing. It's funny because I'm testing a Arabian oud fragrance that's like $750. I'm going to do a video on it soon. Within the next couple of weeks, probably. And it's called Royal Oud, I think. Yeah, it's called Royal Oud. And I did a video on Blue Oud maybe a couple weeks back. And those are expensive fragrances. And honestly, I like my little $30 Ajmal bottle better, to be honest with you. It's better. It's just subjectively to me, it's better. Especially when you take price into account. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the house. Sent to the day in South Korea, Bat by Zoologist. I have not smelled it. Apparently, you can still buy is it Night Flyer? I think it's called Night Flyer in the original formula because the regular Bat from Zoologist has been it's been reformulated from what I hear. Yeah, I've never smelled their Atars, but I hear great things. Do you like Gypsy Water from Byredo? Oh, I really don't like Byredo, but I haven't smelled it, so I can't say anything about it. But I do have a couple Byredo samples that landed in my lap that I'll be doing some. Right. What's up, Wes? So, Soda Naso is a urinal cake on top of an actual cake. It's the Animalic Gourmand Mousse Gravageur. I like Mousse Gravageur though, so that's interesting. I would not mind sniffing that one of these days. All right, let's spray number 3. This video is going to be 12 hours long if I don't get a move on it. Numero 3. All right, here we go. Let's let that settle. Oof. A lot of florals in the top of this. Has like a fruity floral top. It's not the worst floral fragrance I've smelled, but it is it's definitely fruity floral. I'm also not used to testing on strips, and I really think that on strips, the fragrances come out different. Like they don't smell the same as when you're smelling on skin. So you always want to put something on skin because it can really change. And that's how I wear my fragrances on skin. So the strip makes it a little bit tougher, but there's definitely something chewy floral in number 3. Some fruitiness somewhere too. Ah, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, that's that pure white cologne doesn't get very much talk because it's so expensive, but man, if I could find a bottle for like 50 or 100 bucks, I'd do it. But there's just no way I'm paying what Creed is at. They're insane. I also don't trust the new batches. Like I think that sample was from an older purchase from Creed that I made like in 2016 or something. Included Star Wars hand sanitizer. That's awesome. Nice, Sean. What a movie, right? I found today a sample of Overture Woman. Beautiful. Oh, it's amazing. I would say if that lady, if what you end up getting from her is legit, and she has a bottle of vintage red Moscow for you, I would or still to purchase, and what she sent you, the sandalwood fragrance, is legit. Go back and buy her bottle of red Moscow, the vintage. It's full bottle worthy. Trust me. If you're trust the Ram on this one. If you are a Chypre lover, it's fan. I've been thinking about getting a bottle for a while. I just want to find an older one. Hey, Rachel, what's going on? Long time no chat. That's right. The music is fantastic in that movie. Yes, it is. I have not tried it yet, but we'll definitely get a sample so far. I like Accord Oud. Is Accord Oud the one that smells like is Accord Oud the one that smells like Jubilation 25? That's what I heard, that Accord Oud smells like Jubilation 25, like a sort of scratchy version of Jubilation 25. Yes, welcome, Rachel. Ni hao, Rachel. Our dear Rachel. Ah, the other Rachel. All the Rachels are arriving. It's a Rachel stream. Rachel into his house. The only full-size zoologist I own is Camel, but I have about 10 of the 10 mils. Yeah, those 10 mils are brilliant, aren't they? And Camel is full bottle worthy. I will tell you that. So Hari hooked me up with a bottle of Camel, which is really good, actually. I really like the way that the incense and the dried fruits play in that one. Number 3, smelling like just like a chewy floral. These first 3 would be like Rich Mitch's. Well, he might like the Rance 1795, but this floral one and the first one, the Ardal Zaafaran, man, they would put Rich Mitch in a coma. Let's see what number 3 is. Numero 3. I feel like I'm opening an envelope every time. Usually when I open up an envelope, it's a bill. So I don't have good associations with envelope openings. Number 3. Wow. Is this even a fragrance? Uncler Witch River Flow. I've never even heard of that. By Fort and Manlé. Oh, damn. 2022. Interesting. Uncler. Under. Sorry. Sorry about that, perfume god person. Under Witch River. Uncler, eh? Under Witch River Flows. Oh, there's definitely fruits and flowers. Apricot, neroli, orange blossom, petitgrain, red apple. Man, Rancé Fort loves that red apple note, doesn't he? Just like absolutely loves it. Metallic notes. Oud and castoreum and civet in the base. It's just the flowers in this may be a little tough to handle. There's a lot of jasmine in here. and a lot of neroli and orange blossom. It's very white floral. It's a chewy, like a chewy, fruity white floral. Interesting. Under which rivers flow? Interesting indeed. Okay, I need a better system of where I'm putting the used ones versus the new ones here. All right, the used ones are going to go over here. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of these damn envelopes, and we're just going to keep the little thingamabobs. All right, let's see what people are saying. Still waiting for the "this is not a top 10 sense of the mafia." Yes, absolutely. I owe you guys that one. I said I would. I absolutely would. Just keep reminding me. Keep reminding me. Keep me honest. I think maybe somebody did that video once before. I'm trying to think who. Was it Chris from Scentland? I think it might have been Chris. I guess he's not doing Hiram Green soon. I will soon. I've been sitting on this blind sniff video from a friend for a while, and I wanted to knock it out. The Hiram Green sample set has also been sitting for a while, but next live stream, it will be Hiram Green, Rachel, I promise. Love Zoologist Cow reminds me of meadows and dairy farms. Yeah, that's a good. I like the little apple bit too. Drinking lots of tea, Rachel. Almost blind bought a Mirror 1 last night. Ooh. If you do, let me know what you make of it. Absolutely do not get new. Absolutely not. They have completely burned their bridges. And to be quite honest, I know BlackRock like fucking owns everything anyways, but they have no business, none, owning a fragrance company. They have no clue. I don't think they have any clue what the hell they're doing. You know, they came out and basically they put out like this booklet after Olivier Creed handed over control of the company to them. And I think they realized the predicament they were in because, to be quite honest, they bought Creed. Everyone knows it. They bought Creed because of Aventus. Like, there's no getting around it. They basically bought Aventus, and the rest of Creed came with it. That's the way they probably looked at it. Aventus drives their sales. And whenever all that shit about Creed like came out recently in the book, you know, the Ghost Perfumer book, and how, and you notice he's never been sued. He wrote that damn book and never got sued. So obviously, if he was lying or making stuff up, there would have been lawsuits. So, once all that came out, they were in a predicament, and they put out their own book, actually, talking about the Creed history. And they say our modern story starts in like the late 1960s or something. I forgot exactly what the book said, or what exact year that they quoted, but basically admitting that, yes, our story doesn't start with Queen Victoria and, the King of England and all of that stuff, that it really starts with Olivier Creed. And all of the like tailoring back business has nothing really to do with the perfumes. So it was an interesting admittance by BlackRock, because they basically just, threw the old Creed history away and say, yes, we acknowledge that maybe some of that was, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like they like acknowledge that, yes, it's maybe embellished a little bit here and there. That's a good word for it. Embellished a little bit here and there. So I don't know how they really move forward. It's really tough. And then they released, like, the only thing they put out since they bought the company years and years ago was like Spring Flower, which they already put out. They just re-released Spring Flower, which no one gives a shit about. No one cares about Spring Flower. So yes, I'm not sure what the hell's going on with Creed. My guess is they're going to do something like re-release, Green Valley, and they're going to re-release these fragrances where maybe there would be a little hype. And I bet you people would go run and buy Green Valley once it's re-released, because it's so sought after, the older bottles. But not me. I'm out. Unless they come on here and give me like a true, like straight up answer apology as to why stuff like this was going on, like I'm out. I'm out on Creed. Ram is in a rip the Band-Aid off mode. I am. I'm in ripping the damn Band-Aid off. I did it before. Feels good. Managed to score a vintage bottle of original M7. All right. That's awesome to hear, man. You're going to really dig wearing that. The cola note in the top mixed with sort of that, ambery, oudhy vetiver thing and that it dries down to is just fantastic. Obviously, smelling all of these Aries Ladores and Ensars, it's completely different type of perfumery, but I still love wearing this stuff. Like it is, it's fantastic. Even the new one's quite good. The 2011 version, they changed some things, but even the new one's quite good. All right, let me spray number 4 here. Number 4. What do we have with number 4? Oh, that's interesting. You know what this smells like from very first sniff? It smells like a slight variation. At least in the first couple seconds, it smells like a slight variation on Amouage Silver Oud. Just a little bit. It's got a little bit of that Silver Oud. I think there's some Cypriol in here or something. And I really like the spices too. This is my favorite one so far, whatever number 4 is going to be. Let me let that sit for a little bit. Stay away from the old. They make fragrances look like a penance. What the fuck are people beefing with Ramsey on Instagram? Oh, just childish shit, dude. It's good progress indeed. Good progress indeed. Love the original M7. I treasure the 30 mils. Yes, I probably have 50 mils left, I would guess. Maybe like half a bottle. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's right about there. So yes, I cherish my remaining 50 mils. But honestly, the new one's still quite good, but it's just not the same. I did. Be prepared for that. Yeah, it's gonna happen. You know, I should have did it when the guy went and cried to Mr. Smelly, but no good. Like one of the things my father used to always tell me, no good deed goes unpunished, and that's very true with me. You're being generous with 2017 for Creeds. I am. You're right. I mean, it's because my 2017. It's because 2017 is the cutoff where they went to the 50 and the 100 ml bottles. It's also the year Viking came out, and I think if you can find like an original Viking release, like year bottle, like a 2017 like release year of Viking, I would say go for it. I'm liking number 4. What is this? This is good. It's got a little bit of that Silver Oud in there. What is number 4? Goat by Wolf Brothers. Oh shit. I've heard of this. Laurent Marron is the nose. Interesting. Goat by Wolf Brothers. Are you guys familiar with this one? I remember this got a little bit of love on some of the streams, maybe 6 months back, I think, something like that. I remember Persolays talking about Goat. Interesting. I like that. That's good. That's shockingly good. I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy it because I already have, and I know it's going to be different, but just it reminds me a little bit of Silver Oud. And I could just wear this. This is much smokier, obviously. Goat tones the smoke down and goes more for maybe that animalic side of it. But Goat by Wolf Brothers. Goat. So what a note listing. Goat milk, osmanthus, violet leaf, mushrooms, and truffle. Yes, I definitely get the earthiness. There's definitely an earthiness that I mistook for cypriol, because cypriol has that earthiness. Instead, they've used cumin, clove, and costus. Costus can be a very challenging note because it smells like a wet dog. And normally that's a bad thing. But when you're making goat and you're trying to make a fur note, that costus note is invaluable with leather, moss, oud, and vetiver. I really like this. This might end up being the surprise winner, and it's a new scent. This goes to prove of the whole 20. This goes to prove that good perfumery can still be done, even with all the bullshit that we bitch about and how vintage was better, and it's true. But good perfumery can still be done. This is good. This may even go on skin. This may deserve its own review. Awesome. Very awesome. All right, so that was number 4. Number 5. Let's catch up on some comments. Yes. Thank you, Sean. It really is. I went through an entire 100 ml of Viking, the OG. The Viking cologne is shite to me. I hate it. But the OG is fantastic. And I went through an entire 100 ml bottle, went and bought a 500 ml flacon of the 2017 because I loved it so much. And I was worried if I even went 1 year more, it was going to be worse because of how bad this 18 bottle of Aventus is. However, just to show how inconsistent Creed is, I actually bought a 2018 flacon of Bois de Portugal by mistake. I didn't realize it was an 18. I thought it was older. And to its credit, it's still very good. And I don't know why that is. I'm guessing that maybe when Pierre Bourdon worked at Takasago, that the agreement that Takasago has to still supply Creed with the oil, and they're a Japanese oil house. And I feel like maybe Takasago still takes some pride in their work, and they're not just going straight for the money like some of the other big oil houses. That maybe, that's the reason why that's still good, because the 2018 Bois de Portugal is still fantastic. It's not as good as my older bottle. I went through 120 ml of the OG with the green fuzzy looking sort of sticker on the front. And it was fantastic, and I think it was deeper and better. I would love an older bottle of that, but I'm happy with my 2018 bottle. As happy as you can ask for a more modern Creed. Yes, I feel exactly the same way, Sean. The last Creed I'll ever buy, and I have 500 mils of that shit to go through, so never understood the Aventus thing at all. Actually, I really like Aventus. And there is something to the attention that it just grabs people. People love it for some reason. I wore it to work yesterday, and I got like 2 compliments on it. Like, I don't give a shit about compliments, but literally I got like one girl was like, "You smell good. What is that?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to tell you my secrets, just messing with her." But no, I mean, you do get, and I don't care about the compliments, but for people that want that, Aventus it just worked. It did. And I actually like the smell because it's a fruity sheeper. And the older bottles, they acted different. They had this sort of mossy, birchy undertone that was heavier and thicker and denser. And some of the newer bottles turned out I think some of the IFRA rulings and Creed's greed really contributed to Aventus's downfall, in my opinion. Aventus was more kind of old school smelling, thicker and heavier, smokier. It was a real Creed yes, agreed. And I think they had no idea. Like, I don't think they had any clue what was that it was going to do what it did. That's I think that almost took them by surprise. Like, they were shocked. Anyone tried Don Al Oud? I want to. It's on my list. Russian Adam, I think, said he really likes that one, if I remember. Fruity Sheeper, but Diaghilev is much better. That's hilarious. I've actually lived in Yunnan for quite a while, and have visited many pu'er plantations. It's for sure not for everyone, and honestly, there's a lot of fake stuff. Wow. I have no clue what you guys are talking about, but it sounds very interesting. I have an amazing beginner oud, but if you can find authentic aged pu'er, might as well sell the house. Holy moly. Are you guys talking about tea? I think the original bat and night flyer smell oh so slightly different. I've never smelled it. I smelled bat actually in that zoologist set, and it didn't smell anywhere near as weird as some people made it out to be. So I'd like to smell night flyer one day. Man, I was based out of Kunming for the year of 2006. I have a friend who lives in Moy. Took me. I'll connect with. He runs a tea publication. Are you going to start a tea YouTube channel, Rachel? Hey, Nick, what's going on? Thanks again for your generosity, brother. Thanks for all you sent me. I can't wait to do that. I think tomorrow I'm going to do this. I've got it right here, front and center. Oudh Luwak, right here. I'm going to spray the shit out of this tomorrow. Oh, I can smell it through the thing. It's fucking so... Now I'm going to need a bottle of that. Hey, Eugene, what's up, man? Ah, Scuba Ram, we're back. You miss those days, don't you? Tell me you miss Scuba Ram. Kicking it old school. Eugene? Yeah, it's finally caught you on the stream. Cone Star, welcome. I'm working my way through the full sample set from Zoologist. What are your favorites? I'll tell you the one that I like that I did not expect to like. Elephant. Elephant is amazing. Like, that's probably dark horse for full bottle one day. But yeah, I thought Elephant was really, really good. Ajay? None of them have wowed me. Yeah, I could see. I don't think any of them really will wow you, except if you have tastes like mine, you may really like T-Rex, and you may like Sacred Scarab. Those two are, I think they're, and Camel's really good too. But I mean, there are other incense fruity things that you could buy as well. Just the most recent one. So I think the one like from 2022 and 2023, Jimmy. But thank you for the kind words, brother. Good to have you joining in from Greece, man. T-Rex is some serious. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, they don't play, dude. What do I feel like? A memorable photograph. A fotografia. I believe he's just the straight up creative director, possibly involved with them all. Well, Thameen was a brand before Christopher Chong got hired on last year. So I think just sort of the last couple releases, the older stuff, like Thameen was putting stuff out, and Thameen, yeah, they have stuff from like 10 years ago and stuff like that. So so yes, it's definitely a brand I'm interested in getting to know more about. Apparently, the initiator of the fragrance is named Basil bin Jabbar. Bin Jabber, a creative mind with a keen sense for uniqueness. His father was already active in the fragrance industry and visited countless markets, fairs, and congresses related to fragrance. Young Basil was allowed to accompany his father on these trips and was able to learn a lot about fragrances. For example, he inherited his father's passion for the exotic Taif rose. And I share his passion for the Taif rose because the Taif rose is beautiful. 2013, Basil finally founded his fragrance label, which was named Thameen. So there you go, 2013. It means something like precious, rare, or noble. Sees his luxurious creations in the tradition of world-famous gemstones and diamonds, with his greatest love being the dark blue Hope diamond. This also explains the dark blue of the simple but noble flacons. Okay. Depends on his experience and intuition. so forth and so on. Everything after Insignia, which is just a transitional one. Yes. I mean, I'd like to smell the whole house since I've never actually smelled a Thameen fragrance, and I love Christopher Chong's work. Like, I think Christopher Chong is an absolute god, and I think that Amouage is going to rue the day. Well, I think they already are ruining the day, but I think they're really going to rue the day they got rid of him. He did Fanfare, great citrus fragrance. Interesting. Looking for a strong, masculine, and different vetiver, about to pull the trigger on Javoy Private Label. What do you think? Yes, Private Label is amazing. I will tell you something real quick about Private Label. So Private Label, has a very strong note of papyrus. And so Private Label is a fantastic, just like daily driver, masculine. Like if you like dry, earthy, it's a very strong fragrance too. One of the strongest fragrances in my collection. The shit is nuclear, at least whatever bottle I have. It's probably one of my favorite. If it wasn't for Epic Woman, which Cecile Zarokian did, this might be my favorite Cecile Zarokian. These two would maybe be competing. I actually did a rank Cecile Zarokian video you can go check out, but Private Label is very underrated. I think because it has that earthiness that sort of can put some people off. It feels like you're smelling a lot of birch, like that. You know how birch adds that sort of smokiness to it, almost like this burning clean like smell. And there's also a lot of patchouli in here. So imagine a very similar style of patchouli that you're going to smell in Psychedelic, but heavy patchouli, heavy vetiver, and heavy papyrus. And there's a designer fragrance called Hommage à l'Homme by the House of Lalique. But it's the Voyager flanker. It's not the original Hommage à l'Homme, but it's the one that actually says Voyager right here. And the Voyager flanker is a designer that was done by Michel Almarac. And maybe he did it with somebody else, but this is like a designer version of this. And so Private Label, you know, I think some of Cecile Zarokian's best work was early on in her career. And this was 2011. I think a year or two before Private Label, she did Epic Woman. So she really started with a bang and just burst onto the scene. Some of her new work, you know, I could take it or leave it. But Private Label is really good and very underrated. If you like woody, leathery, strong, dry, masculine scents, Private Label is it's a beast. It is an absolute beast. So yes, and if you like that style though, you could try to hunt down. This is actually discontinued, this Lalique fragrance. But if you get Private Label and you absolutely love it, you could try to hunt down a bottle of Hommage à l'Homme Voyager. Lalique they're just a house that they just deliver, man. To me, Lalique just delivers. They're underrated. They're not super expensive, but they just put out great stuff. All right, let's spray number 5. We're only 5 out of 20 in, and we're an hour in. This video is going to take 4 hours at this rate. Number 5. Usually by about 2.5 hours, I am out of the ability to talk. My voice starts to go. So this smells very oudhy from the beginning, but maybe a little more to the designer side. But it doesn't smell super cheap. Slightly rubbery as well, almost like a little rubbery oud with some spices. woods. But I like the oud note in number 5 so far. So that's interesting. I detect a genius in the house. Detectives make great poets. You genius. Thank you, Sean. They gave better answers. Creed lost me with the 19 batches of Aventus. Bought my first bottle in December 2010. Panicked when I read Creed was ruining the fragrance and bought a 1,000 ml 2016 batch that I've been living off of since. Yes. So I've got a 2016 bottle, and it's one of my favorites. There was something really good about 2016, you know, and whatever you think of the batch code thing, whether you think it's just ridiculous or whether you think that you agree with Creed that, oh, we just use so many naturals, or whether you agreed with other people that think that they purposefully changed a little bit of the fragrance every time to give the appearance that, you know, they almost tried to make it like a bottle of Dom. Like, you know, some years it's more earthy and some years it's more charcoaly and some years it's more fruity. And, you know, they tried to do like a wine, like a millésime. This is the finest of our crops of this year type thing. Whatever you make of that, there are differences in the batches of Aventus. And it was brilliant from Creed's perspective because it got somebody who may only buy one bottle of Aventus. People bought 10, 20, 50 bottles of Aventus. I mean, people went crazy with it. And obviously it made Olivier Creed like a billionaire. So I'm not liking as much what number 5 is doing as it's drying, but I really like that rubbery, oudy, cuminy opening. Let's see what number 5 is. Number 5 is the big reveal. Da, 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 da. Oh shit, Dushan gave me a super chat. Where's my super chat music? Somebody hop on here and sing. All right, number 5 is Gladiator Oud by Electimuss. Julian Raskin release. Interesting. This is a house that I've heard a lot about. Never smelled it. I'll have to try that on skin. That's good. That's probably my second favorite one behind that goat. Gladiator Oud. Let's look it up. I like discovering stuff like this. This is why I love doing these blind sniffs. It's a great way to discover. Electimuss, cumin and saffron with honey, Balkans Immortelle Absolute. That is a very specific absolute. Immortelle, Balkans Immortelle Absolute. Hay Absolute, Egyptian Geranium, Indonesian Patchouli, Oud, Ambergris, Atlas Cedar, Haitian Vetiver. There's a little bit of L'Artisan Parfumeurs Al Oud in this. If you've ever smelled Al Oud, that's actually a Bertrand Duchefort. Dushan, do you have this one? I know you're a Bertrand Duchefort fan. Do you have Al Oud? That's one of Bertrand Duchefort's ouds for L'Artisan. It's giving me vibes of this, which I actually really like. I rate it. Obviously, I have a bottle. I rate it. But it's not my favorite oud or anything like that. But for a, you know, an oud with a little bit of a Bertrand Duchefort twist, you know, I don't think Bertrand Duchefort really makes bad fragrances. But I like that Gladiator Oud. That's good. Very interesting. Let me add that to the decant list. Okay, so while I'm catching up on the comments, do you have any thoughts on Givenchy's Essatis? I love it. I absolutely love Essatis. I think it's one of the best. I think it is one of the best, like, underrated chypres from the 80s. It's a Dominique Robion, and this is a splash that Anuj found me. A short ingredient list bottle. Oh my God. It is just, you know, some of those 80s fragrances for women. This, Poison. I'll tell you the one that is slept on, no one talks about it, just because you can't find it. But now there's not gonna be any bottles left. But there were some bottles still floating around on eBay, but they can be a little expensive. But my buddy found me this, which is mostly full. And it's called Balahae by Leonard. This is fantastic. I mean, there's a little bit of this just big, bold sort of, the feminine fragrances in the 80s were just huge. And Acetus is just like a banquet. It's just like a feast of, just everything you can imagine in a chypre. It's so big and bold, and there's just a million notes in there. There's I think there is I think there's a coconut note in there. Like there's a bunch of fruit notes in the top. There's honey. There's a little bit of bay rum even in the base, I think, if memory serves. Let's see if my computer will say tis. There we go. Yeah, aldehydes, Brazilian rosewood, galbanum, orange blossom, neroli, coconut, bergamot, mandarin orange, jasmine, narcissus, tuberose, ylang, Egyptian rose, Florentine iris, honey, civet, castoreum, amber, clove, musk, oak moss, patchouli, precious woods, sandalwood, vanilla, bay rum, and vetiver. So if you've never smelled this, if you can find an older bottle, Rachel, check with Anuj. He might still have some more stash. But I would highly recommend you try it. I think you would love it, honestly. I also think you would love Balahae. I'm guessing that's how you say that. If anyone knows otherwise, do let me know. Balahae. Both of those I think you would love. All right, I'm going to spray number 6 while we're just chatting here because this is going to take forever. It is taking forever. But number 6, let's see. We are not moving in a timely manner here, boys and girls. Feel like I need Persolays to come on and move us along. That guy, he can stay within an hour. Wow. Florals and aldehydes and fruit. Oh my. It smells like syrup, like there's a syrupy facet to number 6. That is that's gonna have to sit for a minute. Let's catch up on some of these. Yeah, I agree, Dushan. Your video made me order a partial Queer Canage. I ain't complaining. Yes, Queer Canage is great. Rich Mitch told me it's discontinued, which makes me really sad. Isn't Acetus the feminine counterpart to Xerius? I don't know about that. I didn't know there were counterparts. For liking Aventus. Yeah, they are. There are some people that are like, if you tell them you like Aventus, they're like, they just like completely write you off, which I don't think that's fair. But I think it's just the whole aura around the fragrance. Like, I think people who have been in fragrance for a long time, I think Aventus brought a lot of people into the community that were newer. And I think maybe some of the newer people like looked down, or some of the older people looked down on some of them. But I think Aventus continues to bring more people to the fragrance community. And I think that's ultimately a good thing. It's just there's some snobbery, I think, afoot. This is interesting. It's like this weird syrupy, almost like this, imagine like one of those colored popsicles that come in like a bunch of different colors, and you get them from Walmart or whatever for like 100 for like $5, and it's nothing but like sugar and water. But you put them in the freezer, and you take one out, and let's say you eat half of it, and then you let it melt back down to water, and you put that sugar water in a cup and let your kid drink it. That's the smell of number 6. It's very sweet, almost sugar water-y, fruity, kind of weird. I'm not the biggest fan of that. What are you? You are Oudmanthus by Renier Oud, Christian Carbonell. Huh. That's Christian Carbonell is a big name. Maybe this will smell different on skin. And I really do love Osmanthus, but yeah, the fruitiness really comes out in the beginning. Maybe it'll change. And remember, these are nothing but early. All I'm doing is spraying and smelling right away, and sometimes they change into the dry down. But yeah, a lot of fruits. The nectarine fruitiness is obviously coming from the Osmanthus. There's also plum. So that's probably where I got the whole popsicle melting idea. Because there's both Osmanthus and plum in here, and Osmanthus Absolute. So maybe that'll be different on skin once it might change on skin, but I'm not the biggest fan of that on paper. All right, let's see. I'm running out of room on my little table here. All right, you're gonna go over here. Oh, no, you can't do that. I'm just gonna put you back. You go back, Esatis. Go back to your home. Same for you, Valahay. Okay. Number 7. Esatis is indeed great. Yes, it is. Rachel, it's brutally loud one. Giorgio, poison level of loudness. It is loud. Yes, there is that. There's no doubt about that. It's a huge fragrance. But I actually don't mind that from time to time. Sometimes poison's a little much for me, but I can usually stand the loud fragrances. I think Keelan may have done a mob top 10. Ah, okay. I couldn't remember if it was Keelan or Chris from Scentland, but one of them for sure. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Yes. Oh, how dare you, Tripler. Repent. Repent for your sins. Rachel, you found a bottle of Esatis in Taiwan? Persolays did a great review of Wolf Brothers. Yes, that's an interesting house. Polish brand, very masculine. Anything's possible. Never forget they ruined Fahrenheit for a few years. This is true. This is a good point, Sean. Dushan, I did. Asu no Hana Grossmith. Anyone tried it? I have been wanting to smell that for ages. It's just so expensive. It's been on my wish list seriously since like 2018 or something. It's just very expensive, but I would love to smell some of the stuff from that house. So glad you're enjoying Queer Canage. Yes, I was able to hunt down a 2014 bottle. It is worth it. It's one of the better privés. Leather Oud, Queer Canage. There's a handful of good ones that Demachi did. The flat shoulder bottles are thought to be better. Wolf Brothers are a very masculine style Polish brand. Interesting. I like it. I want your signature on a bottle of Dessandra's. People asking Eugene for signatures? Damn. That's not a bad idea though, Dushan. Will you sign my will you sign my bottle too, Eugene? That's usually true, but one thing people don't talk about with Creed is that they tend to spoil. Yes. That's the thing about vintage Creeds too, is that I worry. So honestly, I think they're a brand that I'm pretty much set on. Like I'm gonna use what I have and that's it. It would be an honor. That is very kind. Thank you more. Aventus got noticed for sure. Yes, you will get noticed with Aventus. I have a decant of our size Port's new perfume, Oud Caravan. Need to ship it to Ram. Tea connoisseurs. It's beginning. The addiction is spreading to other parts of our lives. OG Bat was so good. Interesting. I need to smell that. Double Duck. Rich, you have competition? Tenosaurus. Does anyone know where to get vintage amouages? Oh, that's a tough one, mate. That is a really tough one. Honestly, there's not a good place, honestly. Yes, like the stream for our team. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that, man. Are you Rich's twin? Rich, we love you. Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat. Sorry I don't have a song to play for you guys, but just know that I really do appreciate it. Speak for yourselves. That's a good question, Double Duck. I'm looking for one as well. Mine's at the end of it. Yeah. Yeah. The gift of kings. That's their slogan. Duck, I love you. Which duck? Double duck. We need double ram. Then we can have double duck, double ram, and rich all in one space. Le Leon, 1-2 sprays. I'm good for the night. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. That Labdanum is. Sean and Pat is a very local department store that closed in 1990. So I know it's at least as old as that. Interesting. Interesting. Rich, how are you, my friend? Can wield 2 powerhouses at the same time. Yes, Rich only wears 1 fragrance a day. You know, he's like me. We're 1 fragrance men a day, although I will wear stuff at night, obviously. But, you know, some people have like a scent of the day and a scent of the night. I never did that. I always stuck with 1 fragrance the whole day, and I'll just reapply. But yes, maybe Double Duck can wield 2 fragrances at the same time. Number 7. Number 7, I have a feeling I'm going to like. From the Atomizer. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's get another good one. I like the Wolf Brothers. Okay. I do like number 7. It's like, so on first sniff, it's almost like a vintage Halston fragrance from the 70s. Big amount of cinnamon. Meets like a cuminy oud. You can see a theme running through these fragrances. A lot of oud fragrances. We had Oudmanthus, Gladiator Oud, Under Which Rivers Flow by Fort and Manlé, which also had an oud note in it. La Agile de la Victoire, which also had an oud note in it. And Sama el Emarat by Ardal Zaafaran, which did not have an oud note in it, but it smelled like it had an oud note in it. And this definitely has an oud note in it, whatever number 7 is, but I like it. It's almost like a heavy, cinnamony, like vintage masculine from the good old days with an oud note. This is good. What is this? What are you, number 7? Reveal yourself to the Ram. Stop with your games and show your true colors. Arsalan by Prin. a Prin? That's the 2nd Prin I like. I really liked was it Mora? I think it was called Mora. I did a video on it. You can check out my thoughts. But Arsalan. Let's look it up. Let's look up this Arsalan. Arsalan. 2020 release. Cambodian oud, cumin, champaka flower, musk, Thai oud, patchouli, turmeric. He loves that damn turmeric note. I normally don't, but I like it here. Caraway, cardamom, clove. Actually, I like these because I can like wave them at you guys. Clove. Oh shit, I just stuck it in my mouth. That was payback for being a jerk. Coriander seed, jasmine sambac, apopanax, saffron, sandalwood, cinnamon, frankincense, and gardenia. This is good. This is very good. People kept telling me, stick with the House of Prin and you'll find something you like, but it felt like the first couple I picked just weren't for me, but once I found Mora, and even this, I like this. Spicy animalic. This is really good. Very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting. Thank you to my perfume god person to opening my eyes to some of these. Okay, let me put this as decant. All right, we're on a little bit of a roll, so let's keep moving before we check some more comments. I know I'm behind on the comments, but let me just spray one more. Otherwise, this will be a 12-hour video. Number 8. Number 8. Come on, baby. Let's get back to back. Let's do 2 back to back that are good. We might have 2 back to back that are good. Number 8 is like an ambery oud. It reminds me a little bit of that lava-like style in Aries Ladore's Russian oud. This is really good. It's like Russian oud meets wasn't there like Damn, what was that house? I'm trying to think. It was Amber. Man, I'm drawing a blank. There was a fragrance that I said smelled like a niche version that everyone hyped, and it was of Russian oud. Um, oh shit! I'm just gonna have to pull it out. Here comes the Dom box, boys and girls. You're ready for anything. Okay, so the brand this is why I keep all my shit. Someone called me a hoarder the other day, but when you have a channel, you have to go back and remember stuff, or else you just if there's too many fragrances, like your brain just forgets them. So I'm thinking about shit. I'm just gonna have to pull. I'm gonna have to. It's at the bottom. Of course it is. Of course it's at the bottom. Renier J. God damn it. Renier J. So Renier J, which I went through this sample set on the live stream with you guys, but there's a fragrance in here called it is called Amber Loop. This reminds me of number 8 reminds me of Amber Loop. But maybe with more spices and maybe a little heavier oud note and a little less amber. But it's in that realm. Very good. Very good. I think we do have 2 back-to-back winners. Let me put the Dom box off to the side. Let's open it up. Let's see what this is. This is good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff, boys and girls. We are exploring. We are learning. We are learning new fragrances. Noisette d'Assy by Katana. Huh? Anyone heard of this? Because I am absolutely at a blank. Noisette. Noisette. Noisette d'Assy by Katana. I've never heard of this brand even. Chocolate, hazelnut, and Thai oud with oud cacao. I did say there was that Russian oud cacao oud thing going on. Tobacco and amber with pistachio, almond, oud, cardamom, dates, and raisins. Alp Veliogulari is the perfumer. Alp, what a first name, Alp. Noisette d'Assy. Wow. Wow, I gotta put this house on my radar. I need to smell more. Oud and nuts. This is really good. Katana is the brand, huh? Are they expensive, I wonder? Because if they're not expensive, this is really good quality stuff. Very interesting. Very interesting. Good evening. I was wondering if the new formulation of tobacco oud. Ooh, that I don't know. Honestly, I've got an older bottle, so I really couldn't tell you, mate. I'm sorry. If anyone knows, leave it in the chat. Yeah, Lalique are underrated indeed. How much people want for a bottle of Tom Ford Noir Anthracite? I've got a bottle. I've got 100 ml, but I don't even want to look what it's going for. Merrily, merrily, merrily lick the F and stream. Agreed. Rachel, their bottles are beautiful. Nothing crazy, just a bit over RPR. Elite glass. Dushan. Hey, Rich, I wish I could join more of your live streams, but I listened to every single one. Agreed. Rich is the man. And suddenly people decided to start talking crap and like it. Yes, it is very violet-y, is it not? And it's actually a really well done fresh oud, just the regular l'homme, homage à l'homme. And actually, I got this. It came with the shower gel, And so if I use the shower gel and then wear this, it's brilliant. I mean, it is just it's a fantastic morning. Like you just, and it just lathers up really well. It's fantastic. Love it. Love the combo of using a good shower gel and then putting the scent on. But yes, I got to check out this Katana brand. They've got a handful of scents here. Handful of scents. The bottle looks like the Bortnikov new bottle, which is, what's Bortnikov's new release called? God, getting old. I'm like forgetting everything. Bortnikov. It's called, oh shit, Scheherazade. Scheherazade. So it kind of looks like the Scheherazade bottle that I saw. Someone sent me a sample of that and I lost it. I looked for it the other day for literally like 30 minutes and I have no clue where my sample of Scheherazade went. I wanted to talk about it because it's a new scent and it just straight up vanished on me. It's lost in the shuffle of it is lost in the shuffle of all the other shit I got over here. So I need to find it because I wanted to talk about it on the channel. So I'm kind of sad that I can't find it. But all right, let's catch up on some of these comments. Creed uses naturals, right? Yeah, it does that when I do my phone. It's like I go underwater. Electimuss spends all their money on the bottles and the juice suffers. Interesting. I didn't know that Electimuss had good bottles, but that Gladiator Oud was not bad. Not great, but not bad. Yes, thank you indeed. A super chat. Sorry I don't have a song for you, Hari, but I do appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. All right, Dushan has Al Oud. Good. I know you as a Bertrand Duchefort lover. Do you have this one, Dushan? Just out of curiosity. Do you have this? Enchanted Forest. I wore this to bed the other day, and I don't think there's very much left in it. I know Hari told me there was only a few drops, and I wore it, and it didn't spray. Like, I sprayed it for the very first time, and it didn't spray very much. I got a couple drops out, but I'm scared to use anymore because I want to save the last few drops for just the initial impression video. But this is probably, if as a Bertrand Duchefort lover, Dushan, try to find yourself a bottle of Enchanted Forest. This is one of the best blackcurrant scents I think I've ever smelled. It is like blackcurrant central. I mean, it's amazing. So fruity and complex. All right, let's see here. Next on the list we have we've got number 9. Number 9. Let me mark this. Almost halfway there. Number 9. What are we going to discover today, boys and girls? Oh, let's go, baby. It's got this just generic woodiness in the opening. A little designer. Probably one of the more designer scents I've smelled all day, except for that first one, the Ardal Zaafaran. But this is like more of a generic, spicy, woody thing. Maybe some cedar or sandalwood. You can sense just a slight bit of maybe this oudiness in the background, but it's really sort of a background player, at least on paper it is. Let's see what number 9 is. We got to get moving on this, or we're never going to get through all these. So there's no need going back and forth. I might as well just see what the hell it is. Number 9. but it's very sort of generic woody, at least in the first minute on the strip. Yeah, the Oudh's sort of coming out a little bit more in the background, but Mr. Harrod by Penhaligon's, yeah, generic woody. Penhaligon's loves that style. You know the style. You know the style I'm talking about. If you've smelled stuff like this, Halfeti cedar, you'll know the style. It has a very distinctive style of that generic thing that they do so well that I really don't like. Mr. Harrod by Penhaligon's. Luck Dong is the perfumer. Quite a name for a perfumer. Luck Dong. Let's see what the notes are. Penhaligon's Mr. The remarkable success of Mr. Harrod. What a freaking name. Plum, cinnamon, and raspberry. I didn't get very much fruitiness in that. Maybe a little raspberry, but I got mostly this cedar, cashmeran, cedar, woody cashmeran thing. Cinnamon. They say oud in the base, but maybe just the tiniest touch. This, whatever they're asking for this is not worth it. The remarkable success of Mr. Harrod. 9. All right, that was number 9. Number 9 was 9. But I know that Ramsey will like beeswax and orange blossom and Seville. How interesting. If you drop an Electimuss bottle, don't worry about the glass, but your Flor. Really? Those bottles are sturdy, huh? Dushan just found a sealed vintage Seville Alaub and blind bought it. It's incredible, really. Interesting. I love the animalic beeswax in it. Very interesting. There is a honey fragrance that I've been wearing to bed a couple times, getting to know, that I'm going to do a review on. My brother A2 sent me this bottle, and it's Miel du Bois. This is definitely... This is one of those classy honey fragrances that does not get enough talk in the community. I mean, obviously, I think my favorite honey for all time, for my entire life, will probably be Hugo Boss #1. There's no getting around it. But Miel du Bois has this beeswax honey note that is somehow just... God, Serge Lutens just has a way of this, you know, obviously he makes sense that are really out there and artistic and all this stuff, but it's also, there's something really classy about this. The way that the woods mixed with the florals in here are outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Miel du Bois is going to get a full review one of these days from me. What's happening? Vintage Bully. I don't know what that means, but if it's a hashtag for me, I'm glad I found it a hashtag. Number 10. Ooh, we've got Clear Juice. Number 10 has Clear Juice. What's it going to be? I guess I should give them more time before smelling them. Smelling this many fragrances at once, my nose is shot, but I think this is like if you've ever smelled Meisenser's Perfect Oud, right? That type of oud fragrance, that's what number 10 is reminding me of. There's this very sort of designer generic, you know, we put the oud name in on the bottle, but you know, inside there's really no oud kind of thing, but we can still charge $200 because oud is in the name. That's what number 10 is reminding me of. Let's see what the hell it is. What are you, number 10? Show yourself. You are Oud Flor by Ormonde Jayne. Well, I guess I called it. And again, maybe these will be different in the dry down. Maybe they'll be different on my skin even. But Oud Flor by Ormonde Jayne. Got the Misen Sur Perfect Oud treatment. Let's see what's in it. Ormonde Jayne Oud Flor. That came out last year. Spicy and sweet with dates, pink pepper, cinnamon, rose absolute, halva, orange blossom absolute, broom, cardamom, oak moss, oud, and vanilla. Yeah. Now that they mentioned dates, if you take what I basically said earlier, that it has that perfect oud blandness, and imagine a little bit of the date note from like a Spirit of Dubai fragrance. Not thrilling, I'll tell you that. Not very thrilling, Ormonde Jayne. Although they're not really a house that I rate very highly, so I only have one of their fragrances, and it's Ormonde Man from 2003 or 4 or whatever it is, and I'm thinking about reviewing it and trying to sell it. I should start selling off some of the stuff that it's not my favorite. Try to build up a war chest for some stuff that I really do love, you know. All right, number 11. Let's catch up on some comments. Persolaise is a great gentleman. Yes, he is. Shout out to Anuj at Enchante. Always shout out to Anuj. Actually, you know what we could do? If I knew how, let's see. How do I do this? Where is the settings? How do I do this? Broadcast info. No, that's not it. Banners. There you go. That is what Anuj deserves all the time. You'd be surprised. I can ask Anuj, like, I can send him a message at 11 o'clock at night. Hey, man, thinking about this fragrance, or do you have this fragrance? And he is like on the spot all the time. It's unbelievable. Anuj helped me find a bottle of Antaeus that I wasn't sure if it was legit, you know, like he wasn't going to get a sale out of it or anything, but he like talked to me about some of the different ways that Chanel like marketed their things overseas, and some of the testers didn't have batch codes on them, and just all of this stuff, you know, and just invaluable to have someone like that to ask questions to, because in the vintage game, you can buy bottles that are potentially like either forged or faked, or you could buy, you know, there's all kind of traps that you can step in. And so it's good to have like an expert in the field that you can run stuff by, you know, you can show pictures to and stuff like that. Okay, number 11. Let's spray 11. Where are you, 11? Here you are. Here you are, 11. All right, let's go, baby. I'm going to give you a second to dry before I smell you. I feel like I'm killing my nasal cavities. Oh, that is like a rose oud, but a very perfumey smelling rose oud, if that makes sense. There's also something, I think it's probably like a rose oud, patchouli with maybe like some angelique or some green, some sort of like, you know, French lover angelique floating around in here, or angelica. I like it though. on paper, 11 is not too shabby. Aventus brought me to the community. There you go. Yeah, I mean, as far as like niche fragrances go, same for me, pretty much. It wasn't my first creed, though, believe it or not. I wore other creeds first. Like I was wearing stuff like Himalaya and what other creed did I have before Aventus? I think I had Himalaya and Millésime Imperial. I had a vintage bottle of Millésime Imperial. That was awesome. And you know, then I started. I once I got more into Creed, then I found Aventus like somewhere in the middle of trying out all in you know Aventus. Just like I thought it was one of the most amazing things ever at the time. We're talking 2012, 2012, 2013. So yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Even though it really didn't, it kind of did. And blind buy it is. I have a 100 ml bottle of Noir Anthracite, new in box, 250. Yeah, that's about what they're going for, dude. No, Rich and Ram are the two channels I love. My name just matches with their vibes. Good stuff, Double Duck. Good evening, Ramsey. Just found the live stream. Good to see you, Michael. Thanks for being here, man. The duck, Double Duck. Rachel, you got to hook me up with people who know how to find vintages in Japan. Yes, vintages in Japan are a special breed. Have 100 mil, just curious. Yeah, they're getting harder and harder to find indeed. I'm smelling the right Prins now. Somebody's selling one for $700. Are you talking about Noir Anthracite? That's insane. I am trying to calm down a little bit. I'm sorry if me being a little bit more calm is upsetting you, Tripler. Don't worry, I can whip out some curses again. I can try to pull out some disses out of my back pocket. But honestly, I think once you've smelled so many perfumes, the anger starts to go away. Like you start to become more even keeled. And when you smell something that's shite, you're just like, oh, another one. You know, just throw it into the shite pile. That's why I really feel like so many of the samples that I have, if I just reviewed like every sample I have, it would just be like me turning on the camera and being like shite, turning it off, you know? There's only so many times you can do that. But especially with new stuff that comes out, like most of the stuff is going to be shite. It just is. That's the way the community is nowadays. The way the Persolae says it actually very elegantly, which he usually does. He says, you know, this fragrance is well put together, and you know, it does what you would expect it to do. You would smell good wearing it, but do we need another fragrance like this, or will this wow you, or will this bring anything new to the table? And the answer is usually no. There's a lot of copies. There's a lot of you know, a lot of been there, done that. A lot of just a lot of that in the community. Is it bad necessarily? You know, I think a lot of it is just disappointing to smell the same stuff over and over again. All right, number 11 is Roia by Spirit of Dubai. And I did say it was a big rose oud with patchouli and this sort of green thing starting to come through. But that is not very impressive, to be honest with you. From a Spirit of Dubai, I was expecting a little bit more. Roia, damask rose, pine, oud, saffron, leather, red rose. So red rose, that's actually a really good description for Roia, because the rose definitely feels red. Like it feels remember in Alice in Wonderland when they're painting the roses red? That's the feeling of the rose in here. And there is patchouli and oud and vanilla, woody notes, cypriol, amber, benzoin, musk, oak moss, tree moss. Cypress. There's Cypress. There's not Angelica like I thought, but there is that greenness that comes through from the cypress and pine. So maybe this isn't shite necessarily, but I expect more from Spirit of Dubai. They're starting to turn into a company like Xerjoff. You know, they're just, I don't know. I mean, I would love to have some of those Spirit of Dubai's. Like, I'd love a bottle of Taroth, and I'd love a bottle of Majalis, and I'd love a bottle of the original Oud. I'd love a bottle of Boz. I would love some of those bottles, but man, they're just not worth it to me. Like, it's one of those things. Like, if someone gave me a bottle, I would wear it, but I don't know if I would spend my money on this house now. Is the problem, and that is a problem. I mean, it's not a problem, but when you're talking about potentially buying a fragrance, I guess it is. They don't move me enough to pull out my wallet and want to buy it. So that was 11. The new Spirit of Dubai Roya from last year. All right, let's spray number 12 before we check more comments, since we got to get a move on. Number 12. I like that. That's like a spicy oud. Yeah, it's like a spicy oud. It's like a peppery, musky oud is kind of what it smells like. But a good high quality one. Slightly cheesy, slightly animalic. Number 12 is good. Nothing groundbreaking, but it is good. Let's see what you guys are saying. That's right, Double Duck. Goose. I will not leave my wingman. Every time I purchase 1.7 Amouage, it's been at least the ones with the writing on the side, if not older. Yes, that's a good point. I don't think Amouage does very many of the 50 mils anymore. This is the only one that I have, and it's Mitts with the writing on the side. And it's actually one I wish I had 100 mil of, because I love this. Probably don't need it. This is probably enough for me, since I still have, like, I don't know, 30, 35 mils left. But yes, that's a good way to go about it. Or even, like, I bought Figment Man from Fragrance buy.ca, and they sent me an older bottle. I don't know if Amouage is making new Figment Man, or I don't know. So yeah, I mean, and the good thing about Amouage is I really don't feel like, it's not like you have to go back in time. You don't have to go get that original Amouage gold from, like, you know, the 80s. You don't have to do that. The bottles that came out within the last 10 years are good. Just try not to get the ones that came out within the last, like, 3 years, you know, or 4 years, in my opinion. All right, let's do number 12. Number 12. Oh, I sprayed number 12 already. That's right. It's the peppery, musky oud. Let's see what the hell it is. Let's open number 12 is what I should have said. Let's see what you are. Come to Papa. Number 12. Soul of Oud by Raymond Monagal. This is one I've wanted to smell for a long time, and this lives up to the hype. This is good. This makes me want to smell more from this house, this Raymond Monagal house. Interesting. This is good. Very good. Very, very good. Let's look at the notes. Soul of Oud. Soul of Oud, 2017. Chocolate, birch, cedarwood, osmanthus, oud, vetiver, amber, coriander, cypriol, musk, nutmeg, and rose. But the oud smells really high quality for a house like Raymond Monagal. I guess that's a house I need to try to sniff more from. That's interesting stuff. Soul of Oud. Interesting. Okay, I'm glad I got to smell that. Let's do number 13. Then I have to grab more blotters. I didn't grab enough blotters. Number 13. shit, I just sprayed that in my tea, I think. I'm going to have Oud tea. Ooh. That smells like a chocolatey Oud to me. Although the soul of Oud didn't smell as chocolatey, but number 13 does. It smells like a bready Oud, like a yeasty chocolatey Oud. Very weird. It smells like a, what's that house that Rich Mitch really bashed on that I know Rachel loves? It's Strange Love. It smells like a Strange Love perfume. There's like this yeasty chocolatiness to it. Very strange. Let's see what the hell you are. Number 13 is Tierra by Pear Noir. Vincent Mikati made it. I don't know who that is. I've never even heard of this brand. Tierra. Tierra. Pear Noir. Rum, benzoin, red berries, Colombian spices, oud and vanilla. So my nose obviously did not pick up rum. It picked up chocolates for some reason, but I've never heard of this before. It's not bad. Interesting. Interesting. It's like a boozy oud. Russian Adam should do a boozy oud. He was telling me that between, oud picante, that was a spicy oud. Russian oud was a ambery oud. Ottoman Empire was a rose oud with a bunch of other things. And he's done the other one was man, it's Friday and I'm drawing a blank on many, but Oud Zen. So we did Oud Zen, right? And that was like a straight in your face oud fragrance with some castoreum and stuff like that. But he's like, he told me that he feels like he's done a lot of the different types of oud fragrances, but there's still so many more to potentially do. Like something, he did a fresh oud with Ocularia Blossom, but something like a rum or a cognac oud, like a boozy oud, that would be a good idea for him to do. Interesting. If anyone wants to pay me $7,000, I have a bottle of Amber Absolute, by the way. Don't worry, Hari, I'll throw you a couple bucks, bro. Don't worry, Armando, I'll throw you a couple bucks if I sell it for 7 G's. Because he sold me a bottle of Amber Absolute. But yes. Russian Adam should do a boozy oud. That would be very interesting. I like anthracite, but if it gets crazy level, I'd probably sell it. Yeah, I don't sell my stuff normally, but if we start talking like a G, I'd sell it. Yeah, but that's the new one, Hari. People don't want the new one. I actually sold it, 100 pounds for the 50 mil. It's a hard sell. Not many fans around. Yeah, it is. A lot of jokers on eBay. The problem is eventually someone comes along and pays it. That's the that's why they do it, because people reward that behavior. Yeah, but a no reserve auction will tell you the value of something. Well, Rich Mitch said there was a no reserve auction in England, and this went for £1. And this is one of my favorite sport fragrances of all time, ever. So sometimes if you get one of these obscure fragrances and you're paying close attention, you can get a steal. 1 pound, and it was like the 100 ml too. It was the big boy. Crazy, crazy stuff right there. All right, let's spray number 14. But it's really good is the problem. Like, I think fragrance connoisseurs should be going for stuff like Noir Anthracite if they can get it for a deal. Ah, they are costly, huh? Okay, that's too bad. I really, really like that. That's probably one of my favorites from the whole line sniff. I didn't know they were expensive. That's too bad. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I got a good laugh every time I shop there. It's like, dude, you don't think I can see same thing for half the price right below your listing? Whoa, 3 to 5 hundo. Okay, so Katana's proud, I see. I still haven't Enchanted Forest, but I will find it. Yes, find it, Dushan. Foul de Absinthe is my black currant fave. Never smelled it, Tripler. Ram is 150 for a 4.2 ounce bottle of Yope. What about Adam? Is worth it? If not, what's the most? I got mine for 90, I think, but I don't know if it's the 4.2 ounce. I think it might be a 75 mil. I think I paid like 80 or 90. But I'd have to go look. So yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I guess that's not bad. But if you can get it for a little less, see if you can. But it is good. It's one of the best tomato leaf fragrances out there. Are either too low or ridiculously high. Almost no one nails the actual market price. Yeah, it's. I mean, there are some folks out there, and granted, I mean, I understand. Like, there was a guy. He had a bottle of what's the ultra rare Tom Ford that is like damn impossible to find? Hang on, let me see if I can see it. If I see the name, I think I would know it. He had a bottle of Japan Noir. I think it was Japan Noir. Yeah, Japan Noir from 2007. Impossible to fucking find, right? He had a bottle on eBay for like 4,500 bucks. And I messaged him and I was like, dude, you're like 10,000% over the market value. And he was like, honestly, mate, I know and I don't care. Like, I'm just going to put it here and not a penny less. And if someone comes along and pays it, great. And if not, fuck it. Who cares? I'll just keep the damn bottle. And if you have that mindset, I mean, if some rich fucker comes along, gives them 4,500 bucks for it, I mean, how can you blame them for? I mean, it's crazy, but like it's like, dude, fine, whatever. It's your bottle. Put it at whatever the hell you want. Put it at 10 grand. I got Miel Dubois and Vintage Brownstone around the same time. They are eerily similar. Vintage Brownstone. Never even heard of that. Huge for a sane person. You're in the wrong spot if you're a sane person. Rich has a good theory about so many vintages in Canada. Hey, bud, can't stay. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, neighbor, thanks for sending out my package, dude. I'm going to check the mailbox probably maybe tomorrow if I can just go check. But man, probably might not be for another week or two, but I'm going to try to get there soon. I just started a test drive of the new Hachivat Oud. It's quite nice, but not much different from the original. Yeah, I can't go down that road with Nishane. Like if someone sends me it, I'll smell it. Otherwise, you know, they're probably the Nishanes I have are probably all I'm gonna have. It reminds me sort of a Creed situation, you know what I mean? Like I just yeah, they're going down a dark path with those X's and you know, Hachivat Oud and oh, I need more test strips. I need 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Let's do this. Let's do number 14. Numero 14. All right, 14. Show us what you got. Strut your stuff, baby. It's pretty good. I like number 14 so far. All of these are oud-centric in some way, in case you haven't noticed. This is a little resinous. It's like a resinous oud. Maybe a little bit of fruits, some florals, some patchouli or something, woods, but a lot of resins. But it's still sort of allowing the oud to shine. I like that. Some spice, I like it. Let's see what the hell you are. Let's see what the hell you are, number 14. Agar Royale by Chopard, 2019, Alberto Mordias. It's actually pretty good. You know, I don't think I've ever smelled a Chopard fragrance until now. Agar Royale. Is it an expensive house, or are they just kind of middle of the road? 2019, Woody Resinous, Jasmine Sambac, Mandarin Orange, Bergamot, Patchouli, Tuberose, Vetiver, Black Pepper, and Cypriol with Oud Asafai and Laotian Oud. I've never heard of that note before. Oud Asafai. Every single, there's a trademark next to it, and every single Oud Asafai fragrance is either a Chopard. There's a YSL Le Vestiaire Queer, which is from their niche line, which I think that's one of the weakest niche lines like about in all of fragrance. Their YSL's niche line, like high end line, is. And there's a Meisenser brand that uses it, and a Gallagher fragrance, and a Frater, which I've never heard of that brand, but there's like 5 Chopards that use this Oud Asafai note. Interesting. Must be some sort of a captive molecule, but it's good. I like it. I like that. That's not bad. If that's a cheapie, that's a good cheapie Oud. If that's a cheapie. Would 2001 Guerlain Le Bleu perfume considered vintage? It's right there on the border, Rajay. I usually say 2000 and before, but 20 years is usually the, I think, give and take. Kiss a lot of toads to find the prince. Yes, this is true, Alan. It leads to enlightenment, indeed. I've just sold a 2000 Shalimar's vintage, so yes, in my opinion, everything pre-2013, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there, GMG. And I think also vintage could be like anything like bottle change, you know what I mean? So like if you had a bottle of this, for example, in the older packaging, and then you compare it to the newer packaging of L'Artisan Parfumeur, technically this would be considered vintage. That's the way I view it. Even though this is probably a bottle from 2000, and I don't know how to tell, but I'm sure someone could look the batch code up. But you know, even though this is a bottle that is not super old, I still consider these previous iterations to be vintage because they don't make them anymore. So Ifra, Fudge Ifra. In watch collecting, the 90s is considered neo vintage, not even vintage. They aren't perishable though. Yeah, that's true. Versus mid vintage, yeah. I do love Strange Love. Yes, you do. I need to do more videos on them because I've got some pretty good sized decants that are just sitting there waiting for videos to be done. Dushan's in the Love Shack. Ramon Monegal is a Spanish house. One of the Dubai exclusives was a huge hit. Dubai Next to Me is the name of the perfume. They released it as Next to Me here in the US. Interesting. Thanks for that, Hari. That's Mozart's music. Found my vintage sample of Hasu no Hana. I'll get it to Ramsey. Thank you, my friend. That's very kind. That'll be a video for sure. A vintage of that? Don Giovanni? The Marriage of Figaro. Magic Flute Requiem? Yes, we need Dushan like you know, up there on stage being the conductor one day to some classical scents while we're pumping fragrance through the vents. Mainline Chopards are uber cheapies and kind of good. Interesting. I thought Chopard was a cheap. It's not bad for a cheapie. Agar Royale. Interesting. Very interesting. And this is a great way to test a bunch of. I like testing fragrances like this because it just takes everything out of it. You know, it takes all the bullshit out, all of the marketing and expectations, and you can just sort of smell it. The only bad thing about this is doing it on paper. It makes it harder for me to detect what the hell is going on, but I can't be having 20 things on me. Ooh, that's a funky one. Ooh, number 15 smells like a zoo. Smells like you just walked past the rhino encampment and the rhino just took a huge dump. As I take a deep breath, that is funky. Is this one of those chemi fragrances? I would not be surprised if this is a chemi. It has that funk that chemi sort of tries to pass off as expensive oud, but it never feels that way to me. It always feels cheap. All right, let's check number 15. Definitely an animalic oud, though. Definitely. But in like a chemi style, if that makes sense. Oud Asienne by Rogue Perfumery. Holy moly. Rogue has an oud. I didn't even know that. Shows how out of the loop I've been with the house. I like this. I mean, it smells funky. I like the funk. I need to test this on skin. I didn't even know Rogue had an oud fragrance. That just like ever since they went from these bottles that had, this type of cap right here to the newer one, I just pretty much like gave up on the house, especially once I heard them say they were IFRA compliant. I just like completely gave up on the house. So I never got a chance to smell Rogue's oud before. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, come on. Okay, Rogue Oud Asienne. Here we go. Come on. Your connection was interrupted. Come on, baby. Reload. You can do it. I believe in you. All right. Assam Oud. Blue Cypress and Castoreum. Labdanum, Amiris, Bitter Almond, Oak Moss, and Ylang Ylang. Interesting. Rogue has an oud. Wow. I mean, it smells like the rhino encampment at the zoo. Interesting. I had no clue Rogue had an oud. Wow. All right. I'll have to circle back to that one. Thanks, Dushan. I need to expand my classical enjoyment. That's right. If I haven't heard about a fragrance and discover 2 to 3 years later, it's vintage. That's right. Maestro Dushan. Herbert von Dushan. The conductor. Hey, that's a good name for a fragrance. Maybe I'll keep that one in my back pocket. Give it a lick, it won't hurt. That's right. A little rhino poop on the side. Never hurt anyone. Let's see, where are we? We are at number 16. All right, we're starting to make some headwind now. Uh-oh. 16 was out of order. You dastardly gal. Get back in order, you. Number 16. Let's see what we have with numero 16. This is good stuff. I haven't smelled any of these until today. I was worried about maybe doubling up on some, but there's just so many fragrances. It's impossible for one person to know them all. Thank you for the super chat, Tripler. By the way, give it a good lick. I need to stop smelling them so soon. It's like burning the inside of my nasal cavity out. Woody, resinous oud. I like it. I mean, the thing is with these oud fragrances, the part that makes this tough is I'm a fan of this type of perfumery. So even though someone might look at this and say, this is just a rose oud with some sort of, you know, ambery thing or some labdanum or whatever it is, some, you know, some woody base, just some generic Cypriol oud thing. I like this type of perfume is the problem. So it's hard for me to smell something like this and say anything other than, yeah, I like it. I don't think 16 is setting the world on fire. It just seems like sort of a regular rose oud, musky oud, maybe, but it's good. Let's see what it is. Let's see what the hell it is. Attar al Gutra by Swiss Arabian, 2013. So I'm guessing this is a cheapie because Swiss Arabian, I don't think they make very expensive fragrances. Attar al Gutra, 2014, according to Parfumo, my fragrance godfather. How dare you make a mistake? Let's see. Raspberry, saffron, oud. It's a saffron rose oud is basically what it is with that generic leathery, suede dry down. Smoky oriental. But it's good. I mean, is it the kind of stuff I should be wearing at this point in my journey? No. But I mean, the one everyone gushes about, Ambre Loop, I would just wear, you know, Russian Oud. But if you wanted more like of a designer version of Russian Oud, Ambre Loop is good. The Oud one she has is okay. But is it worth just running out and? I mean, I did a live stream on them. You can go see my thoughts. But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go run out. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think it's anything that's going to get you excited, GMG. If you want my recommendation, because I know you love this stuff, and living in Italy, you have the chance to get something that others may not. Try to go find you a bottle of this. This is my newest find. Jean-Charles de Castelbajac from 1982 for men. Not the one from 1988 for women I did a video on, but the one from 1982 for men. If you can find a bottle in Italy before the mad rush, do it. Trust me. It is fantastic. I think you'll really like this. I think you'll like this way better than any Renier J fragrance you can find. So, yes, that's my recommendation to you, sire. Beat the rush. It's the Jean-Charles de Castelbajac. All right, number 17. Number 17. Let's spray 17. Pretty sure I've been spraying these right into my tea this whole time. If I get delirious, that's why. Ooh, that has like a Serge Lutens woodiness or something coming out right out of the gate. Yeah, almost like this coriander, thyme, woody thing. Almost like the woods that you would smell in something like Feminine du Bois, but applied to an oud, is what this sort of reminds me of. If you've ever smelled Javoy's L'Enfant Teddy Bal, imagine that sort of sandalwoody molecule in the style of Serge Duton with oud. That's 17. Let's see what the hell it is. $17. Halacia by La Covent. Never heard of this house. At least I've never smelled any of these that have been sent to me. Halacia. Let me look this up. Heliaca. Halacia. La Covent. Bergamot, ginger, cardamom, and oud. Spicy woody. It is being marketed by Colgate Palmolive. Colgate Palmolive made this. Wow. Interesting. I mean, it's nothing to go by. I'd probably just tell you forget about going for the oud and but you know what? I was gonna say just go for Feminine du Bois, and I still feel that way. But this is actually a fragrance done by Emilie Bourgeois and Jean-Claude Elena. And now that I'm thinking about Jean-Claude Elena, if you like Cartier's Declaration, if you like, you know what I'm going to say, if you like, I won't even show you the box. I've shown you the box a million times. If you like Eau de Hermes, if you like that stuff, sniff this. Sniff this Helica. Because forget about the oud base. It almost feels like the oud acts just like as a, just like as a stabilizer, like a rudder on an airplane. And this is really about that woody, cardamom style, ginger and bergamot with that spicy, woody style that Elena really mastered. And the fact that they refused to do any oud fragrances while he was there, the fact that this got released with his name on it, makes me think that if Hermes ever released a oud, this is what it would smell like if he was still captain of the ship. Halaca by La Covent. Interesting. Very interesting. I like it. I would just probably wear my Serge Dutons, but an interesting experiment indeed. Someone like Eugene, who loves Hermes, should sniff this one as a Jean-Claude Elena fan. Okay, next on the list we have number 18. Let's catch up on some comments. Rouge didn't become IFRA compliant after testing the fragrance. Turns out they were. Yes, that's what I heard. Someone told me that story. I don't know how much I believe it, but he claims that he was too lazy or something to look into it. And so whenever he went back and actually did the testing, as it turns out, they were IFRA compliant. I don't know, but we're going to go back through them. Even though we're 2.5 hours in, we're going back through each. I'm going to smell all of them really quick and just see if they've changed real quick. Let's do number 18. Numero 18. Let's go, 18. Let's go. No time to F around. So that's a really woody oud in the opening. It's like, it's almost like lots of damp wood with just a little bit of this fertilizer, animalic smell. This is good too. I really like this. But again, I have to say, I'm an oud fan, obviously, so I like a lot of this stuff. But on first sniff, just like an initial impression, I like that. It's very damp, earthy, woody, slightly fertilizer-like, fertilizer chips, like you just put a new flower bed down and you put some soil. But it heavily leans towards the woods. Interesting. It is Straight to Heaven Oud and Musk Special Blend 2021 by Killian. Nose Sidoni Lancashire. All right, let me look this up. Straight to Heaven Oud. Straight to Heaven Oud and Musk Special Blend 2021. What a name. Oud, cedarwood, nutmeg, patchouli, vanilla, and white musk. It's funny, now that I know it's Straight to Heaven, I'm trying to smell the original Straight to Heaven in this, and I think I can. I don't think I would have done it without the reminder, but I still like it. I like my Straight to Heaven Extreme, so reasons I would like the Oud edition, but I bet you that's very expensive for 50 mils when I don't know how deserving it is of that. All right, number 19. Shit, I need one more blotter. We're short a blotter. Quick, someone get me a blotter. Number 19. Let's go, baby. Interesting. It's like citrusy. You don't get many citruses in the opening on a lot of these oud fragrances, but this one, it's almost like a rindy lemon. Slightly rindy lemon. Imagine lemon with the seeds, A little lemon water in woods. That's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Let's see what it is. A little bit of freshness in that too. It's a very fresh take on Oud. Let's see. Wonder Oud by Comme des Garçons in 2014. Man, I wonder if that's going to do something crazy later in the dry down, because that does not smell like a Comme des Garçons. Wonder Oud. Yeah, Australian sandalwood, Texas cedar or purr. Oud Pashmanal. I've never heard of Pashmanal before. Pashmanal is a sandalwood substitute by Givaudan. There you go. So Australian sandalwood and Texas cedar and Gaiac wood and Pashmanal and Haitian vetiver. Antoine Mason do. So it really feels like this relies more on like the sandalwood and cedar. Like I get a lot more of those woods. But there's a freshness. There's almost like a strange citrusy smell. There's no citruses listed, but maybe the Pashmanal gives a little bit of a citrusy sandalwood. I don't know, but there's definitely a citrus vibe there. Interesting. Lick the stream, lick ram. That's right. Don't careful of my horns though. GMG, maybe Oud Assam and Ambre Loup. Yeah, those are the two probably the most popular ones. Jean-Claude Elena, Maria. Jean-Claude Elena. Jean-Claude Elena. Just check the price. It's as cheap as Colgate toothpaste. I only have acid blotters. Acid blotters. I don't know what that is. So they removed the booze accord, which was the only notable thing in the OG. Smart move. I want to be like Ram or Mike. All right, number 20. Last one. Then we'll go back through them real quick, and then we'll get the hell out of here. because I got to dehydrate like Rich Mitch. I guess I should spray it before I start ripping that open. Okay. The last blotter. Dun, dun, dun. It's time for Fiji water. Ooh, that is the most rubbery one so far. This smells like what I imagine Towers La Oud to smell like, because I know Rich Mitch said it's very rubbery. This is a very rubbery oud fragrance, but I like it. I like this sort of rubbery smell. I know Russian Adam said sometimes the rubberiness can come from whenever they really turn the heat up and they try to distill the oud very quickly. Like they don't give it a chance to distill slowly. They try to push as much oil out as they can and just move on. But I like that rubbery smell sometimes. Jardine Nocturne by Shalini. Maurice Roussel made this. Wow. Jardine Nocturne. Let's look it up. Jardine Nocturne by Shalini. Sam Oud. Jasmine Auriculatum Absolute. Is that the Egyptian jasmine? Musk, Mysore sandalwood, and saffron. Is this an expensive one? Mysore sandalwood. Shalini. I've never smelled anything from this brand before. So I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's cheap. I'm guessing it's more to the expensive side because of the Mysore list of Mysore sandalwood. Although it's probably like Mysore sandalwood smell kind of thing, but who knows? A lot of saffron in here. So it's like oud saffron, but very rubbery. And I think probably that saffron is giving off this chemical-like vibe. I know I've talked about it before, but saffron in heavy doses can come across as very chemically. And I think that's what's giving it this rubbery vibe, along with the Assam oud. But I like that. I actually really like that. For an oud jasmine instead of an rose oud, that's good. Rachel likes it too. Yeah, it's very interesting. Is it a cheapie? Or is it expensive? Jardine Nocturne. Huh. Very interesting. All right, let's go back through them real quick, just for shits. Numero uno is Sama Al Emarat. You know, for a cheapie, this is not bad. It's not my thing because it's almost like a weird fruity, floral, gourmand, sweet thing. Holy moly. Okay, so they're proud, eh? But Ardal Zaafaran is not a bad house. I mean, they get shit on because they're a clone house, but I think some of those clone houses, you know, they don't get fairly treated, but this one's just a little too sweet and stuff for me, but it could be worse, I'll tell you that. Number two is this Rance 1795. I'm really liking the dry down now. So now that more of the leather and the birch has come out, now I get the association with leather oud. This is really good. I think I would just wear my leather oud, but I think for a bottle of this Rance 1795 L'Agel de la Victoire from 2013, you know, if this is like $100 or something, if it's half price leather oud, I could see this. This is good. I'll put the names in the description, obviously, for you guys. But yeah, this Rance 1795 house apparently has some good stuff. La Agel de la Victoire, very interesting, very very interesting. Number three is this Under Which Rivers Flow from Fort and Manley, which I thought the card said uncle. which rivers flow. So apologies to that, my perfume god person's handwriting. Under Which Rivers Flow by Fort and Manley. Lots of white florals. This is a white floral bomb. This is a Rich Mitch Nightmare. I think it's a good fragrance. I like Rancé Fort as a perfumer. I finally got my first Fort and Manley bottle, which, fuck, God knows where the hell I put it, though. Could have been anywhere. Here it is. I finally got my first Fort and Manley recently, and it was the Bajnikov. And you know, I like this. It's not the best fragrance in my collection, but it's really good. I'm glad to have a bottle. But Under Which Rivers Flow is way too white floral for me. You might like this, Rachel, because it does have other things going on. It's got a weird metallic thing. It's got some ambergris and some animalics and vanilla. It's like a white floral vanilla animalic fragrance, but that white floral bit with the jasmine and the neroli and orange blossom all combined is too much for me. So that is a pass. Number 4 is the Gladiator Oud by Electimuss. And I like this. This is good. I don't know anything about the house, so apparently they spend all their money on the bottles. I have no clue. But just smelling this without knowing the price, and it's a Julian Rasconnais, I like this type of perfume. Now, I'm sure there's some amber woods in here, and I'm sure that if you're sensitive to them, this will put you off. But I think this is good. Cumin, saffron, honey, hay, patchouli, oud, and woods with some vetiver. I mean, this is the one that reminds me a little bit of Amouage's Silver Oud. So this Gladiator Oud and Silver Oud. There's a little bit of this going on. I think I would just wear my Silver Oud since I have a bottle, but if the Electimuss is half price of the Silver Oud or more, then it might be worth a sniff. Okay, number 5. Sorry, I lied. That was not the Electimuss. I missed one. That was the goat. The goat was the one that smelled like the Silver Oud, not the Electimuss. So the goat is the goat is the why did I lose that one? Goat, wolf. So the goat was the one with it also had cumin and leather and oud, but it had the earthiness of mushrooms and truffle instead of the Gladiator Oud had more honey and hay. But actually, I think I remember liking them both. But this goat, yeah, the goat is reminding me of Silver Oud. And I think I said that when I first sniffed it too. So apologies for reading the wrong note listing there. Number 5 is the Electimuss, is the Gladiator Oud. Yeah, cumin, saffron, honey. It's actually sweeter than goat. I think there's a couple that are going to compete for the top spot, but I think just right out of the gate, wolf is up there as my favorites I've sniffed so far. This Electimuss Gladiator Oud, it's still good though. I think it's still good. It does have a little bit more of a designer tilt to it than wolf or oud or fucking goat. But cumin, honey, hay, and patchouli and oud. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with the Electimuss either. Number 6. Number 6 is the Oudmanthus. That's the Renier perfumes that has the osmanthus, big osmanthus note in it. So it's osmanthus and rose. The problem is that the way that the florals mix with the vanilla and the fruit in here is not for me. I don't think it's bad, but that it's a little too sweet fruity for me. I would pass on number 6. Number 7 is the Arsalan by Prin, I believe. I really like this one. Arsalan by Prin. So that's now 2 Prins I've smelled that I really like. Arsalan is this is really good stuff. The way that and usually I don't like turmeric, so I think I found my turmeric fragrance. Like if you ask for a turmeric recommendation on a fragrance, normally when I smell turmeric it puts me off, but this one I really like the way it's all blended together with the champaca and the musk and the oud and the clove and the coriander seeds and the opopanax. Saffron. Saffron's pretty prominent too, but I really like this. Arsalan's good. Shout out to Prin for. Sorry I dissed him so much early on, but the stuff I smelled from him just was not for me. But now I guess I'm starting to get into the better ones. So yes, that's really good stuff. Number 8 was the Katana. So Noisette d'Assy. This is probably the top one. I would probably say that the Katana is probably my number 1. And the Katana is my number 1, and the Goat's probably my number 2. But if you missed out on a bottle of Arise-le-Doy Russian Oud, and you can find this Katana Noisette d'Assy, get it. It's really good. It's like a nuttier version of Russian Oud because there's hazelnut and pistachio in here. And those 2 notes just make it a little different than Russian Oud, but God, it feels like it has that Russian Oud quality. This is really, really good. This fragrance alone today has been worth the whole ordeal because I want to smell more from this house. Katana Perfumes. Wow. Wow. Very impressive. Extremely impressive. Shout out to whoever this Alp Velio Gulari guy is. Okay, number 9. Number 9 is the Portrait series from Penhaligon's The Remarkable Success of Mr. Harrod's. This one's probably one of the bigger letdowns for me. It's just kind of a boring, cedary, cashmeran oud. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of tobacco now, which I wasn't getting earlier. But I mean, this is why I'm not a fan of Penhaligon's right here. The Remarkable Success of Mr. Harrod is a big-time loser. That's not very good and probably extremely overpriced. It's just exactly what you would expect from a Penhaligon's. Okay, number 10. Number 10 is the Oud Flor by Ormonde. This is also a letdown. The Penhaligon's is a letdown, and this Oud Flor is a letdown. I mean, the little addition of dates reminds you a bit of Spirit of Dubai, but there's also a halva note, which is a damn good. If you've ever had halva, it's delicious. But all in all, it's just slightly cinnamony, heavy rose oud with vanilla, and it's probably also extremely overpriced. So the Penhaligon's and the Ormonde are letdowns. Number 11 is the Dubai Spirit of Dubai fragrance, which I think was also a letdown. It was called Roya. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of jasmine and white florals from this too, even though there's a lot more going on. This almost feels like a redundant release from the house. It almost feels like they took some of their fresher fragrances and tried to blend them with some of the greener, because there's that pine note. I thought there was Angelica in here. But, I don't know. I mean, there's some winners from this house. I don't think Roya is it, though. So 3 sort of losers in a row. Number 12. Number 12 is another winner from this list. Soul of Oud by Ramon Monegal. It's probably in the top 5. I don't think it can compete with the Katana or the Prin. I liked both of those more. But the Soul of Oud is really good. It's a chocolatey oud. birch and osmanthus and all that good stuff. It's cypriol. It's good. It's the oud. The quality of oud in the Ramon Monaga on paper anyway also smells really natural. It's well done. Okay, number 13. Number 13 was the Tiara by the house of Prin Noir. It's the rum oud. The only thing this fragrance does for me is it reminds me that I want Russian Adam to make a rum oud fragrance. Like a boozy rum or cognac fragrance by Russian Adam would be glorious. This isn't bad. It's just, there's too much designer benzoin sweetness pumping through for me there. All right, so that was number 13. Number 14 is the Chopard Agar Royale. You know, for a cheapie, if this is a cheapie, I could recommend this as a cheapie. This is a good cheap oud fragrance if it's a cheapie. Resinous, woody. There's that oud asafai note, which I've never really heard of, but apparently it's like some captive molecule that maybe Alberto Mordias him only can use. With cypriol and vetiver, and I mean, for a cheapie, it's not a bad oud fragrance. It's really not. It's better than that Penhaligon's, I'll tell you that. All right, so that was number 14. Number 15. Number 15 is the Rogue Oud Ancien. Very strange. It's very zoo-like. You know, it has the feeling of being at the zoo. At least at the Fort Worth Zoo, I am getting more of that bitter almond. It's almost like Thierry Vassar went into an alternative universe and merged with Manny Cross, and out came this Oud Ancien. I just don't. The oud in here is too. It's too much like the way Kemi does oud. You know what I mean? Like it has that weird, funky, fecal vibe, which I usually really like animalics, but here it reminds me of the rhinoceros pit at the zoo. You know, when like the rhinos, they're always in a bunch of dirt and they have that gigantic ball that they can like hit with their horn and kick and shit. And sometimes when it rains, their little dirt pit turns to mud. And then it like cakes onto them, like the mud like cakes onto them, and the mud, which instead of being soft now like hardens onto their skin. That's the smell. It's not very appealing to me. So I'm not a fan of that, which is disappointing because when I saw it was a Rogue, I was like, oh shit. Manny Cross did an oud, but he didn't do a very good oud, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's hard if you're not experienced with oud. It's very hard to do an oud the first time around. All right, number 16 is the Swiss Arabian. I mean, some people are going to say that it's cheap shit, and it probably is. It probably is a cheap, probably is a cheap fragrance, but I've smelled worse than this, I'll tell you that. It's a big saffron, fruity, Middle Eastern, Oriental style fragrance with like frankincense and oud and rose and touch of leather. It's not that bad. A little bit of suede in the base. Not bad at all. Number 16. Number 17. Number 17 is the Jean-Claude Elena creation for La Conviente by Colgate Palmolive is the marketing agent. So get your toothpaste and your La Conviente fragrance in the same place next time. It's not bad. If this is $20 or something cheapy, it's not bad, but just know that you're getting a fragrance that will remind more of the woods of things like Serge Lutens fragrances and like Cartier's style of like spicy woodiness that Jean-Claude Elena does than an oud fragrance here. The oud is just like the spine. So it is, it's not bad though. It's interesting to see oud and Jean-Claude Elena in the same sentence though. All right, number 18. Number 18 is the Straight to Heaven Oud and Musk Special Blend. Yeah, I mean, I like this. It's but I like Straight to Heaven. I have Straight to Heaven Extreme, and I do like it. I think they've toned some of that patchouli thing down here so they can let sort of the oud shine a little bit more. but it's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's straight to heaven with a dollop of oud. I don't even know if you can buy this anymore because it's special blend 2021. This is probably like starting to get phased out, but I mean, I wouldn't give Killian the kind of money they're asking for that. I'll tell you that. All right, number 19 is the Wonder Oud by Comme des Garçons, which is very interesting because it really smells more like a sandalwood cedar type fragrance with some vetiver backing it up or something, or patchouli. I don't get very much oud here. I mean, if you're someone who really likes sandalwood and cedar and woods, Antoine Maison Duke created an interesting oud fragrance. But this is not the kind of oud that I would be interested in. So that's a pass for me. And then finally, number 20. Number 20 is the expensive one at the end. 30 mils for 525 pounds or euros. Cellini is the house. Jardin Nocturne is the fragrance. This is a really good Assam oud, jasmine, saffron, sandalwood, musk. Seems very simple in construction, but very elegantly done. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like the ingredients are high quality, and it feels like Maurice Roussel blended them in a way where this feels classy. I bet this would smell amazing, absolutely amazing on a woman. The Swiss Arabian perfume Omar was Attar Al Gutra from 2014. Attar Al Gutra, Gutra, Gutra. But this is good. This Jardin Nocturne. This is probably one of the best oud jasmine fragrance combos I smelled. I smelled an oud jasmine combo from Xerjoff. I think it was called Alcott. And I always thought that someone could do a proper oud jasmine combo, and this Cellini Jardin Nocturne feels like that. It feels like taking that Assam oud jasmine, you know, sandalwood saffron idea and properly executing it. I really like this. I wouldn't wear it because it's heavy white floral. But that's really, really good. I can see why it's expensive. So I think the number one winners for me are probably, number one, the Katana fragrance. That fragrance opened my eyes to the whole house. Like, I want to go smell more from that house instantly. I want to smell what else he's done. Ombre Fume, Bouquet Hypnotique, Queer Vicuna. He has a queer. He has one called Fars, Fleur du Musc, Fleur de Oud, Green Oud. Green Oud just came out this year. Khan came out last year. Hikiai from this year as well, 2023. Hey Y'all in 2023. Hey Y'all. Oud Damascena came out a couple years ago. Vanilla Exotique and Zaafaran came out this year as well. So a house I want to look into, I'll tell you that. All right, let's catch up on the comments and say goodbye. We're 3 hours in. Need to try Leather Jardin? Yes, that's right. Send you some of their decants for very expensive stuff. You have shit, it's probably up here waiting to be discussed. Holy Cellini. Holy Cellini tripler. Nothing substantial. That's usually the gist of pretty much my comments on everything. I do like weird fragrances, and I love white florals. Have you tried Flor Japonais from Cellini? If you've ever added too much turmeric to your food, you're in a world of hurt. Yes. I've tried them all. I like them all, but Flor Japonais is my second least favorite because my taste is a little too sweet, although I can appreciate how well it's made. Interesting. Iris Lumiere is my favorite. Halva is a favorite dessert in Bulgaria. Yes, it's really good. The texture of halva is stupendous. It is. Yep, it's got that almost, it almost has like a clay consistency, but it's so good. It is so good. Yep. Sesame is very versatile. Which perfume from Swiss Arabia was that? Are you eating some tahini? Some tahini? Yes, there is a honey and crunchy salt involved, Omar. It's good stuff. Well, hell, 40 people are still here sitting for 3 hours watching me just fucking sniff some random perfumes on a Friday evening. So I am grateful and thankful to each and every one of you for the support. I hope you got to explore some new perfumes with me because these are all new to me. Thank you to my fairy perfume god person. I very much appreciate your kindness in setting this up and expanding the Rams horizon. So we'll be back tomorrow probably with the long-awaited video on Arise the Doré Oud Luwak. I cannot wait to wear that tomorrow. So my voice is giving out. I must bid you adieu. But I have to say again, thank you for being here, everybody. It's a pleasure, an honor, a blessing. Loved getting to do this with you guys. Thanks for the interaction. Cheers, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.